Let's talk about it. Real truth and power. Health. Wealth. Knowledge of self. Uplifting the community. Let's talk about it. Real truth and power. Health. Wealth. Knowledge of self. Uplifting the community. Let's talk about it.
You are now tuned in to Real Truth and Power, the show that uplifts the community with health, wealth, and knowledge of self. Here's your host, Everett Winchester.
Peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings. Please let me know if my levels aren't right. Please let me know if my levels aren't right. We are streaming on TikTok. I don't know what's going on with X, Twitter. We are on UNIA Rock Media. We on Facebook, and we should be on Instagram Live as well. So please, definitely be a part of the conversation if you can. We encourage you to be a part of this conversation. We plan on having a powerful program tonight. We have some already guests coming in. I'm going to pass out that link for you guys to join. If you're on TikTok, you will have to go to a couple of different outlets to be a part of the conversation. But we definitely invite you to the conversation. My name is Brother Everett, and I am at your service. As my man Raymond Duguay would say, I want to talk a little bit about the show today. So I welcome you again. Welcome to Real Truth and Power, where we provide health, wealth, and knowledge of self. I'm your host, Brother Everett Winchester. Tonight we are asking a serious question. Have we in the Black community normalized crime, violence, and drugs? Everywhere you look, people are living under pressure in the Black community. Families are stressed. Young people are growing up around violence. It's like it's part of everyday life. So I started thinking, people wake up expecting shootings, killings, addiction, bad news, and broken conditions. And somehow society keeps moving like this is normal, like it's normal. And maybe the most dangerous part, people are getting tired of having the same conversations. It's like, when you bring these conversations up, we've talked about it already. Or, Brother Everett, you keep mentioning these type of things. But, I think we have to have these conversations. So tonight we're going deeper. What's actually working in the communities right now? What's failing? What are these conditions? Why are these conditions getting worse? Why do so many people feel hopeless? What's another question we could talk about? Why does it feel like only a few people are still speaking up and pushing solutions? These are real pain points affecting real people every day. So tonight, there's no ducking the issue, no fake outrage, no surface level conversation. We're going to go all out. I already got a couple of guests in the building. So before I do that, as you guys know, we want to pay some bills a little bit. Here's one of our sponsors. We're going to play a couple of commercials, and we're going to come back in with my first guest. It looks like it's Brother Bill Gooden, and I also see Brother Keith on the line. If you guys want to join the conversation, I will put the link in the chat in a few seconds, and I'll put the link up. And I also have, if you're on UNIA Rock Media, I have a line that you can text, and I'll forward you that information. So let's start off. We're going to play one of our sponsors, Emotional Intelligence Clothing Line. Check it out.
It starts the moment we open our eyes. We're born with emotion. Life shapes it. Challenges sharpen it. The world throws chaos at us. But we learn the patterns. We master the storm. We fall. But together, we rise. This isn't just fashion. It's armor. It's proof you've earned every piece of who you are. Emotional intelligence. Wear your evolution.
They told me I was dying, but I wasn't ready to go. I dug into the dirt, prayed over seedlings, raised chickens, bees, watermelons bursting with color. Then the UNIA said, "This isn't just a garden." They called it liberty. Now the bees hum freedom. My backyard feeds bodies and spirits. But the fence can't hold the harvest. Our people are hungry. Our youth, they're starving for purpose. We need space. We need you. Join the UNIA. Learn to grow food inside and out. Hydroponics, farming, healing, dignity. This isn't agriculture. This is liberation. They buried us. We planted back. Not charity, sovereignty. We turn hunger into harvest. That's power.
I used to think vacations meant white sand and pool drinks, until I realized I was skipping my story. I've got 10 days to reconnect with my roots, or spend another year feeling like a tourist in my own identity. So I booked with Black Star Travel. They don't do tours, they build homecomings. Real connection, real culture, no filters. I thought I'd be the outsider, but the moment I stepped off that plane, I felt seen.
They weren't just places, they were pieces of me I never knew I lost. Travel with purpose, travel with pride, travel with Black Star.
All right, family. All right. Welcome to Real Truth and Power. Again, of course, we always have to pay the bills. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the chat, and I'm going to put the link in there for those that are listening. And we got a couple of viewers that's already on, and we're going to start getting them on. Hold on one second. Make sure I put that in the chat. And we are actually about to go live on UNIA Rock Media. So we got that about to pop up as well. So thank you again for tuning in, and let's get it. Let me put it in here right now. There we go. So that's the chat. And we are definitely live. We are definitely live. Have we normalized crime? Have we normalized crime? Let me see who I got on the line, and please be patient. I'll get to you all of a sudden. Brother Bill, I see you in the room. I'm going to bring on my first guest, though. Brother Fitz, are you there?
I am here.
I don't see you in
Can
the
you hear me?
camera, good brother. There we go. I got you. I got you.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you. I see you. So you know we got an important topic to talk about today. Have we normalized crime in the black community? Have we normalized crime in the black community? So I want to ask you that question, and I want you to tell me, why is it so bad? First, introduce yourself to the people.
My name is William Fitzgerald. I go as Coach Fitz for Team Rumble basketball program for the youth in our community. I'm a retired police officer, lieutenant of Baltimore City, also a retired military, Sergeant First Class from the United States Army. Currently work for the state of Maryland as an investigator, and I've been serving the community all my life.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Also a member of the Buffalo Soldiers. I can't forget that.
Oh, I'm glad that worked out. So you are a member now of the Buffalo Soldiers.
Yes.
All right. So talk to me a little bit now. I know you, you did mention your police background with Baltimore City, correct?
I did.
Talk to the
Yes,
people.
I did.
Talk to the people a little bit about that. Your experience with the Baltimore police and the crime and drugs and the violence. Talk about that a little bit first for me.
Well, that can go back a long way. As you know, I retired in 2010. So things have changed since then. But the drugs and what was happening then and what's happening now are totally a different atmosphere, which I haven't really been in connection with. I can say that the youth, Baltimore City crime is reduction. I've seen that through the communication with other officers who are still there and leadership that are there. But our youth is what's driving the city of Baltimore's crime right now. So that's what we're looking at right now. As far as what I did when I was there, I worked narcotics. I did so many different things in the city. I could go way back if you ask me to look into that.
No, that's good. That's good. That's good. Let me ask you the first question. Let me ask you the first question. Why have us as a black community normalized the violence? What's going on there? Why are we conditioned to accept the fact that murders and drug use, open area drug markets in our communities is acceptable? Why have we normalized it? Why is that natural for us? What do you think?
I don't think it's natural for us. I think it's something that has grown with our community, a way of one point of surviving through drugs and crime was a way of surviving through poverty. I don't think it's been naturalized and that we accept it. I believe if you talk to many of the community leaders, that they're fighting to reduce this crime within the city of Baltimore.
Okay, being in the police department, for those that don't know, if you're tuning into UNIA Rock Media late, we have William Fitzgerald. He used to be a former lieutenant of the Baltimore Police Force, so in the Western District of all districts. So he has a lot. He has a lot of experience. He has a lot of experience. What are some of the solutions that you think? Because in Baltimore, it just seems like it's inevitable to accept the fact that nothing's going to change. Is it politicians need to change the system? What do you think personally?
It's education. You can't do anything without education. If you don't know, you won't grow. That's
Right.
bottom line. So the thing is, we have to reach our youth and teach them the values that we were taught when we grew up during our days.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have values, if you're not taught values, then you don't know. So education is what we have to do if you want to reduce anything, is to teach our youth the proper way of dealing with life. Teach them that shooting and killing does not value life.
Well said. Well said. Well, I just want to thank you for coming in. I know you're a busy brother, But talk to the people while you're so busy. We formed something a while ago, and I'm sure that you would like the people to know about that. Team Rumble Basketball. Talk about Team Rumble Basketball, the organization that we formed. Talk about we're helping young black kids on the corner and how they can sign up and be involved.
Yes. Team Rumble Basketball was created by myself and Everett Winchester. We went out to reach out to the youth in the community, to teach them leadership, teach them how to work together, teach them how to bond and become one team to achieve a mission, which at that time was playing basketball. But through leadership and teamwork, we take it into other things in life. So we taught them, and we're currently teaching the youth the leadership of being a man and woman, because now we have female basketball players. So we're teaching both women and males how to deal with anger, how to deal with adversity. Because if anyone knows, adversity comes on the court all the time when you don't achieve what you're looking to do. When you become upset, you get your anger. So we try to teach you how to calm that anger, how to redirect that anger. And that's what we're doing with Team Rumble Basketball. We're taking the youth, I have a clinic now going from the age of 6 years up to right now 11 and 12. So we want to pull them in and teach them values of life, not just on the court, but off the court.
Thank you. I appreciate that. For those that also don't know, William Fitzgerald is one of our 7 founding members of the UNIA when I first started. And when we first started, so Fitz, I want everybody to know the reason I'm allowed to be here is because you do so much for me in the gym. And I want to thank you so much. Any last words that you could tell to our black community to close yourself out on just, what we can do to better ourselves as far as the community?
Each one teach one. If each one take the opportunity to teach our young and our youth the proper values of life, what we were taught when we came up, that is what we're missing. If each one would teach one that value, I think it will, I know it will reduce the violence that we're dealing with youth in our community.
I appreciate you, Fitz. And is our website back up for Team Rumble? I know I got to get some things done. How can they reach up? How can people reach us or reach you rather, if they have a child that is in desperate need of staying out of trouble and getting off the streets?
Well, the Team Rumble website is up, teamrumblefamily.com. It is up. You can reach me on my email, which is william.e.fitzgerald@gmail. And you can just reach out to me there.
All right, Fitz, I appreciate you for calling in, man. And thanks for all your expertise. I appreciate you.
Yeah. All right. Have a blessed one.
All righty. That was one of our founding members, William Fitzgerald. He used to be the former lieutenant of the Western Baltimore City Police. So he's actually very experienced and well-versed in crime. A lot of people always say, Baltimore police aren't good and beware of the Baltimore police. But the Baltimore police that I deal with are right in the hood and right in the communities, right with me, helping me get kids off the street. We both started together at Bentlow Recreation Center. And then we moved up to Sam Cassell, the former NBA player, now basketball coach Sam Cassell's program and Nike. And we did a little Team Carmelo Anthony's program, and we've been rocking since. So he's well-versed in helping kids get off the street. Before I bring on my next guest, I'm going to need you guys to do me one favor. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, I need y'all to do me one favor.
Smash it now!
Hit that like button. This helps the algorithms go out so a lot of other people can hear this powerful conversation. And if you're on YouTube, you definitely got to do this for me so you can be a part of the discussions coming forward. Hit that subscribe button. It's very important that we keep these conversations going. And now I'm going to bring in my next guest. Peace and blessings, good brother. You there, Brother Bill?
Yes, sir. I'm here, my brother. How you doing?
I hear you loud and clear. Please introduce yourself to the people real quick for me.
Well, my name is Bill Gooden. I'm a community activist. 73 years old. Been active over 50 years of my life. So that's basically who I am. I'm an author, and again, just a community activist.
I appreciate you for coming on today, because I know you always, at your age, still in the fight, the main one. Every time I turn around, you protesting and you out there. But this topic tonight is very important to me, because it seems like a lot of us in our community are just starting to, I don't want to say give up, but they're just starting to accept the fact that this may be how it is. The drugs. In Baltimore, we have the open drug areas. I mean, I went across from Lexington Market the other day. I was just shook. Trash everywhere. North in Pennsylvania, the Freddie Gray riots, open drug areas, people that live in that area. Had we normalized the crime? Why is it that it seems like no one's still in the good fight with us?
Well, it's a lot of reasons, but first let me say this. First, let me just thank you, the UNIA, for this here program, right? Because it's a much needed program. These are the type of conversations that we have to have. Sometimes people's feelings gonna get hurt, because sometimes when we disagree with people, then it's not disagreement; it's just trying to reach that solution and that path that we need to take, right? So, I think that when you ask that question, why we normalize things, I have to show you this book first, right? America's on Fire and Crumbling, right? And it's just,
and that's your book, right?
Yes, sir. I wrote this in 2009. But this one paragraph says, America is on fire. No matter what the government or politicians attempt to do, they can do nothing to stop it, and they can not blame the youth nor African Americans. They have no one to blame but themselves. The ashes are covering the world, but they would not cover the misdeeds of the government and the politicians. Their refusal to action is their downfall. See, a lot of times, man, we put the blame on us, right? But basically, we got leadership that had just totally failed us, right? We have a government that have put all kind of, I guess I'm going to use the word traps, because I was listening to the brother when he was saying that the youth is kind of pushing the crime up. Well, of course it seems like that because that's what you see on the news. But why is the youth pushing the crime up, right? I mean, who put the drugs on there for the youth to get and try to make money? You know what I'm saying? It's a natural thing to try to make money, right? Who put the guns out there for the youth to get into arguments with each other? Instead of throwing their fists up, they're shooting each other, right? But but we don't want to push and say, well, look, man, this is what the government have done to us. Malcolm X says that if they don't treat you right, they ain't gonna teach you right. So even when we talk about education, you know what I'm saying? Then we got an educational system that's not teaching us in terms of who we are and what we can be, because they satisfied with the majority of us failing. I mean, even when we talk about the boys' collegiate school, Everett, I have to mention that. You know why they went after the boys' collegiate school?
Why do you think they went after it?
Because they understand that it's in a community that's not united. If we was a black community that was united, it wouldn't have been no thought whatsoever to go after a boys' school and close it. But they did it because they know they can, right? So, so I think it's a lot of things that, we up against, man, that we ignore, or we may not want to look at it like that. And because I guess it feels better for us. And who wants to always think that it's the government that's attacking you? It's the government that's doing these things to you. You know what I'm saying? We're sitting here right now. We're looking at Donald Trump's administration wants to take Black history out schools, take Black books out of schools. People died to have the privilege of what they call to vote, but they want to strip that away. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying it's a lot of things that we can look at, but I think that our fault is this, Everett. I think I'll follow this, is that I think that we have to continue to organize on small levels and big levels, right? I think one of the things that, in my opinion, that we do wrong is that sometimes we get hung up and we start arguing over who got the best way, right? Anybody that's organizing for unity, then they're doing something right, right?
That's right.
Now, it may not be the path that's going to get us to where we got to go, but eventually we organizing, then at some point when we can bring these organizations and us together as a people, right, then we have an opportunity to discuss all our plans, right? But, we can't give ourselves reason to not participate with one another because we disagree with one another.
Right. I agree with you totally. Let me ask you this though. Talking about, and though we're from Baltimore, talking about Chicago, Philadelphia, DC, a lot of these cities having the same problems. We look towards our politicians a lot because I see Brother Keith Scott on here. I'm gonna get to him in a minute. We have a lot.
I'm sorry, I got to get this.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna hold you back. I'm gonna get you right back. Handle your business. So I wanted to ask Brother Bill one important feature, and then that is, one of the most important things is that we depend on our politicians. We depend on our politicians a lot. And I know we have a politician that ran for mayor. He's about to come up in a minute. I see you, Brother Keith, hold tight while Brother Bill's handling this business. But we are basically depending on our politicians a lot. And so I want to talk with Brother Bill with that. But hold on real quick, Brother Bill, while you get yourself together. I want to read a couple of comments. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, you can always put your comments in here. They can be read. Brother Tony Culture, UNIA Sergeant at Arms of Baltimore. Unfortunately, folks are numb to what's going on in terms of crime and violence. I agree with you, Tony Culture. Our Lady President of Baltimore, let's go, UNIA all day. I say, Lady President. See if we got any more comments before we get back to Brother Bill. And my good doctor, our UNIA member, Dr. Dennis Osaraw Winkler, Dr. Dawes, giving us a peace and black power. Shout out to you, Dr. Daw. But yes, Brother Bill, I wanted to ask you something about our politicians and the systematic oppression that we're under, voting and things of that nature. We in Baltimore have a black mayor. Does he see the things that's going on? I mean, I'm thinking if I'm the mayor, I'm like, yo, I'm going down and I'm getting this cleaned up. What's going on there? Why aren't we getting enough from our politicians? Or or should we just forget about them and try to do it on our own?
No, I don't think we forget about them, but I think first of all, is we're talking about politicians, we're talking about a system. We're talking about a system that don't belong to us. A politician got a job in a system, just like one of us go to a corporation and we working for Chrysler or Ford, and we are the general manager. You know what I'm saying? Then everybody look up to you because of the position you got. But, you're upholding a system that don't belong to you, right? So, you're only going to go so far in a system and not step out of place if you want to remain a part of that system. In my personal opinion, our problem with politicians is not the politicians, it's us. And I say us in terms of this. We run to politicians and kiss their butts and we want to be in their midst and, like we need them to do something to us, but they should be running to us. But the reason they don't run to us is because we're not unified. If tonight you could take 500 people down to City Hall anytime you want to, then you know who you could call when you want to? You could call the mayor when you want to.
That's right.
You could call whoever you want to down at City Hall because they know you can bring 500 people down there. See, they keep us from organizing the right way. And we keep ourselves from organizing the right way because we always want to look to people who we think that got prestige or in position, right? And we looking at the wrong people to lead us out this here fire that we in. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's not going to be the well-educated and the ones that got these big-time positions. It's going to be those of us that's on the ground that got the best solutions and ready to really go to war and fight. So our politicians ignore us. It's just like now, I'll give you a classic example. Then we coming up near elections. Then you're going to have politicians come to your meetings. You're going to have them come to your door. You know what I'm saying? They're going to tell you all these good things. But why is it, man, that elections you coming? Why aren't y'all trying to organize the black community? Don't y'all see we're in trouble? Y'all the leaders. Y'all the one who got access to capital and other things. Why y'all not trying to organize us if y'all realize that we're not unified and y'all know what unity could do?
Well said. Well said.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Everett.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on with my mic. I put it on the other one. But my question I want to ask you is, you got me not knowing that I have to vote. I know that I have to vote. I know that I have to do those things as far as voting. But you got me saying I can't depend on my politicians. What can we do as a community? Since I believe we're in dire needs, what can we do as a community to get this thing back on top?
Well, I vote myself. I've been voting basically all my life. You know, again, you know, it's first of all, I don't know of no time when we was on top.
Right.
I don't.
Right.
But in terms of what you're saying, like I say, you know what I mean? Once we start to organize ourselves the way that we need to be, then our politicians are going to be more responsible for us. See, I don't want to hear the stuff talking about, well, the black community don't get them no money. So they go to the white folks, and that's where they get their money from. So, you know, they doing their bidding for the people they get their money from. I don't want to hear that bull stuff, man. You get your votes from us. You know what I'm saying? You know, you promise us that you're going to take care of, you're going to protect us, you're going to take care of our community, you're going to make sure that we live better. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't got comfortable with, you know, just like you say, normalizing crime. Hell, we didn't normalize politicians not doing nothing for us. You know what I'm saying?
That is a great point.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when people just think that all of a sudden politicians going to change, they're not going to change until we change.
Right. I always tell people there's something called quid pro quo. You know, the white communities do it very well. The Jewish community does it very well. They meet up, they get together, and they say, this is what we need in our community. They'll bring those politicians in, and then they'll say, you know what? We want this. We'll vote for you, but you need to give us these type of things, these grants, these opportunities in business. Our businesses need to get certain amount of things done within the community. And if those politicians don't meet their needs, they vote them out. They get them up out of here. And we don't do that. But it was something, and I want to ask you this before I let you go. This is real important. A brother mentioned it, and I mentioned it at the last Black Men Unifying Black Men breakfast, having an agenda. Like, did we ever give the mayor, do black communities in these major cities give those politicians agendas of what we want done? Do we give them a plan? Because it's very hard to hold the mayor accountable when we're not saying, Mr. Mayor, we need the drugs cleaned up. We need this done. We need that done.
No, Everett, they didn't have agendas before. Listen, I was with Tyrone Powell and Dr. Bunley years ago when we put together what's called the People's Plan, right? Dr. Bunley now probably still got that, right? You know, for over 25, 30 years, you know, back in the early 90s, the city council passed a resolution known as 282. You know what that resolution was?
No.
The resolution was saying, we was pushing saying that drugs and guns confiscated by the police department, then we should have citizens to witness the burning of the drugs and guns so we know they don't circulate back on the street. City council passed a resolution known as 282. So basically what they're saying, they agree with it at that time, I was a little ignorant, so I was kind of happy thinking that we were getting somewhere. But resolution ain't a damn thing. That just said, yeah, we agree, but there ain't no power behind it to make it happen. Well, why shouldn't citizens have an opportunity? Why shouldn't we have a small group to make sure all them guns and drugs that's confiscated is destroyed? Because it's $1 billion industry. Do we really think them guns and drugs are being destroyed? Just think if we could witness that, how many less guns and drugs would we have on the street? You know, right. So I'm saying, so it's not that the politicians don't know, and I'm never gonna put that on us that they don't know. They know when they're running for office because they articulate all them things for you before you vote for them. You know what I'm saying? We just don't really know how to hold them accountable because we don't have enough strength in our unity, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at some point, and I give you a classic example. You know, I'm thankful to God that I've been a part of Black Man Unifying Black Man for the last 11, 12 years. Over them 12 years, we have brought thousands of Black men together. But we couldn't stay together for whatever reason, man, because people want to say, we need to do this, we need to do that. But just think, man, if you or me or one of these other brothers on the line could put a call out tonight and say, we need 10,000 men down in City Hall, what would that look like? You see what I'm saying? But we can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So even when you sit here and you talk about the Honorable Marcus Garvey, then Marcus Garvey understood that his power was in the unity of the people, and he was able to organize people all throughout the world, right? So that's why he was feared, because of his ability to attract people and to move people, and being able to put a thousand soldiers in a spot, 2,000 soldiers in a spot. So, you know, we underestimate ourselves, but that's why this here program here is so important, because we have to get there. You know what I'm saying? That's Marcus Garvey been here. He left a pathway. Malcolm X been here. Martin Luther King, they not coming back, but they left people like you. You taking Marcus Garvey's place, right? People that believe in Malcolm X, then them the Malcolm X's of this here time. You know what I'm saying? We may not sound like them, we may not have the same strategy, but we have to have the same solution and the same determination that we have to take it farther, because they took us to a point and then we didn't let it die. So we have to get back on our horses and make it happen.
You said something there, and I'm almost finished with you. I know I got a lot. I want to hold you up. You said something real quick, and I want to talk about Unity Day as well. But you said something. Explain to people what Black Men Unifying Black Men Breakfast is, because a lot of people may not know.
Right. Well, listen, when Black Men Unifying Black Men came together, it was 6 of us. David Murphy, Dr. Bunley, Michael Johnson, Thomas Hartnett, and myself. So basically, the whole concept was to once a month to be able to bring Black men in the same spot where we could break bread, we could bring in speakers, we could have discussion, we could start networking, and we could know each other, right? You know, so it was a networking thing, not that we have a particular leader, we have a captain, we have a president. It was us saying, look, man, we need to be able to bring ourselves together monthly, because what happens if, you know, every month people see 500 Black men going to the same spot? See, that's that's a symbol of power. You see what I'm saying? But we have to recognize that, man. You know, so sometimes people say, oh, well, we ain't doing enough. Hell, that's a lot bringing us together on a monthly basis. You see what I'm saying? But we have to stay the course.
I needed you to say that just in case our Secretary General's listening, because I'll be missing some meetings early Saturday. So I wanted to know that the breakfast is serious. No, but we do a powerful job at the breakfast. And the first time I went and I heard you and Brother Mike speak, I was like, I got to represent the UNIA and be a part of this, because it's very important that, you know, we keep that going. It's very important. I was on a panel discussion. I've been on a lot of them lately, but this one really hit my heart. It was at the Black-owned movie theater in Pikesville, and you mentioned owned by Brother Mike Johnson. And you put that together, but it was a reason you put that together. So talk about the panel discussion, the ones that's coming up, and what's going on with this thing called Unity Day.
Well, you're gonna be on the second panel discussion too, because it's gonna be a part 2, right?
Okay.
You know, but basically, listen, man. Unity Day, we talk about unity, right? We always talking about unity, right? We talking about how we gonna get there, right? You know, who's right, who's wrong, right? But you know, I tell people they need to look at it like this, Everett. You know what generational wealth is, right? If Everett happens to have money, then what do you plan to do with it?
Right.
You're going to pass it down to your children. Hopefully your children are going to pass it down to their children. And the Winchester family stay financially empowered. But that's the Winchester family. But we got generational unity, then we'll start building generational wealth for the more of us, because without generational unity, then our generational wealth ain't gonna last, right? So Unity Day is basically saying we don't need to go to the government and ask the government to give us a damn thing. We could create a day for ourselves called Unity Day. And every March the 8th, then throughout the country, then people be having programs that bring in speakers to talk about unity, the value of unity. So what's going to happen? You're going to have small children that's going to grow up and they're going to start hearing these discussions. They're going to start hearing these programs about unity. So they're going to automatically know what to do in terms of trying to make sure they support one another, protect one another, spend their dollars with one another. So we have to teach that, man. So, you know, just like, and I'm going to shut down with this on this particular point. When you was talking to the coach and y'all teach basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then how do a person get good?
Practice. Staying
Why
in
don't
there.
we practice unity? Why don't we practice unity?
That's a good
Why don't
point.
we practice having unity discussions?
That's a real
do we
good
want
point.
To be good?
You got to practice it.
Do we want to be good at it?
That's right. We want to be the best at it. We want to be the best.
Let's practice it.
I'm with you.
So that's what Unity Day is all about. You know, it giving us an opportunity of every year across the country to practice unity, go to unity discussions, have unity dinners, you know what I'm saying? And not asking the government to give us a day is a day that we claim for ourselves.
Wow. So have you come up with a day for the first Unity Day to kick off?
March 8th.
March 8th. Okay.
2027.
Awesome.
And we're going to have a big program here in Baltimore.
Okay. And we want to get that out to everybody else so that everybody can start with the Unity Day. And like you said, it's very important. And for people, I like how you broke that down, Brother Bill, because we always talk about practicing and keeping our kids in the gym so they can get better. And like you said, we need to practice unity to get better so we can be the best. That's why we're doing it.
And let me just close this last point, man, because, you know, I mentioned Marcus because of the UNIA.
Right.
But again, you know, I mean, I guess whoever listened to this is that, you know, I'm 73, right? So, you know, God forbid, you know, whatever happens to us, we all know that we're going to die. But do we want to die and leave the next generation to be responsible for digging us out this here stuff? And if they don't, they're leaving the next generation to hope that they... Hey, we the ones who have to dig us out right now, man.
That's
you
right.
Know what I'm saying? So let us put the pathway and put the recipe together for those up under us. So they ain't got to do this. All they have to do is just make sure that they hold it together, right? So I'm saying that's what I'm striving for.
I appreciate you, Brother Bill. Man, that was phenomenal. Hopefully we can get everybody on board with Unity Day. Now, for that panel discussion, since you made me aware that I'm a part of this second panel discussion, when will that be? Where will it be? What time will that kick off?
Well, everybody can always go to my Facebook page and Black Man Unifying Black Man page. But it's gonna be May 21st. It's gonna be at Powerhouse World's Ministry, located at 1932 Bel Air Road, Bishop Winslow's facility. That's 1932 Bel Air Road, and that's May 21st, and it's from 5 to 7. And I'm encouraging everybody to come. And the people that can't come, I'm asking people, hey, wherever you at, y'all set some discussions, man. You know, let everybody start setting up discussions. Let's start practicing unity. Let's start talking, you know, let's make it just like a hip hop song. You know what I'm saying? That it sounds so good to us, everybody wants to do it.
That's right. That's right. Well, Brother Bill, I appreciate you. Thank you for giving me your knowledge as always. And anything else you'd like to say before to close out?
No, I'm gonna just listen because, you know, like I said, I appreciate it, man, and I mean I definitely appreciate this kind of program because, like I say, you know, we may have some people that disagree with each other, but it's important that we have these kind of sessions because this is what this is. This is a session, man. We know everybody ain't gonna leave here tonight being ready, right? But this is how we help to get ourselves ready, right?
That's right.
So I want to say thank you very much.
I appreciate you, Brother Bill. Stay blessed. All right, that was Brother Bill Gooden, Black Men Unifying Black Men Breakfast. If you are listening right now, UNIARockMedia.com. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, or whatever, we have our own platform. That's UNIARockMedia.com. That looks a little misspelled, so let's fix that real quick. But UNIARockMedia.com. UNIAROCRockmedia.com. I see we got a couple more guests in here. I'm going to get to you. I see you, Brother Kevin, and I see our guy, Keith Scott. You are actually next. If you want to join the show, here is the link. If you want to join the show, here is the link. Also, you can text me, and I'll put my phone number up in a minute. Also, if you have anything to say and you're on Facebook or YouTube or what have you, you can also comment. And I can get your comments on the screen, except for Rock Media. I don't have that yet. We're working on getting that fixed up. But definitely hold tight. We're going to go to our next guest, but you know we got to pay the bills for Real Truth and Power. So we're going to play our next ad real quick.
I used to think revolution meant fire and fists, but silence is louder. I need to speak at tonight's UNIA-ACL Zoom meeting, because if I don't, my nephew's gonna grow up thinking power lives outside our people. I wasn't raised on Garvey. I was raised on survival. But last month, someone on that Zoom said, Black unity isn't an idea, it's an action. That line hit me harder than anything in school, church, or the block. But right before I log on, I freeze up. What if I say the wrong thing? What if I ain't conscious enough? Then I hear my nephew in the next room say, Uncle Malik, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. That was it. I hit join, and I told the truth. Not the polished version, the version our people need to hear. Turns out, that voice in your head, it's not fear, it's your ancestors. The meeting didn't just change me, it reminded me who I've always been. Join us, Baltimore UNIA, mass meeting. Join the Baltimore UNIA. Don't let your legacy pass you by. Your ancestors are waiting.
Used to think nature was a lie. Baltimore don't have forests, just corner stores and concrete. But then I heard UNIA hikes every Sunday. I thought, what if I just show up? I gotta reach that ridge before sundown, or miss the moment that's waking my whole spirit up. Bro, it's not just trees, it's legacy. Elders dropping Garvey wisdom while we climb, youth beating drums, sisters laughing under waterfalls. We see hawks, foxes, fire in the sky. City stress, gone. Every Sunday we reclaim the wild like it's our birthright. First time I touched river water, I cried. This ain't no hike, this is revival. Every step, we get louder. Every week, more of us come. This is Marcus Garvey's army, in hiking boots. Black unity, in motion. Now I don't walk alone. I lead the line. Dwayne, UNIA. Follow for more and come hike with your people. Sundays, Baltimore. Marcus Garvey's UNIA.
All right, family. All right. Thank you. We always got to pay the bills because our sponsor is, of course, the Baltimore division of the UNIA and the parent body of the UNIA. Of course, the UNIA under the President General, the 10th successor to Marcus Garvey, the 11th President General, the Honorable Michael Duncan. So we always want to make sure we give a shout out to the UNIA. I'm going to bring in my next guest, but I need y'all to just remember, you got to do me this favor as you coming in. If you went on earlier, YouTube, Facebook, I need y'all to hook a brother up and do this for me.
Smash it now!
It only takes a second to hit that like button. It only takes a second to hit that like button. And YouTube, one more time. Hit that subscribe button. So let me bring on my next guest. He's been waiting for a while. And I see you, Kev, hold tight. Let me bring in my good brother, Keith Scott. You there, good brother? You're a little dark, but I see you.
Can you see me?
You're a little dark, but I see you. What's going on, good brother? So you know the topic at hand. We've been normalizing the drugs. We've been normalizing the violence. I'm kind of just getting sick and tired of it. I want change. I want action. So talk to me a little bit about us normalizing our current situation in the inner cities of the Black communities. What's the issue? Why have we given up, good brother? Have we given up the good fight?
No. I don't think we normalized it. We just realized we don't have the power to change it.
That said something.
Okay?
Say that again, good brother. Say that again.
It's not normalized. We just realized that we don't have the power to change it.
So you saying that we giving up?
No. It's proof. Okay. Unity. A group of people doing the same thing for a specific purpose, right? That's what unity is, right?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if we have unity, would you recognize it?
Of course, I would.
Why haven't nobody recognized it yet?
That's a good question.
That Black people are unified, but you just don't see it.
Well, I would say we're not unified collectively. We're unified in sections.
No, we unified collectively. But like I said,
explain. Hold on. I can't give you a pass on that. How do you feel we're unified collectively as a people?
Give me.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. Give me an example.
I'm gonna turn the light on in your mind. Check it out.
All right.
Black people are now it's 55% of Baltimore City. Roughly over 300,000 Black people in Baltimore City that don't vote because they don't want Republicans or Democrats to tell them what's good for them.
But that's not unity. That's just people.
Yes, it is. Want to see why? Because unity, they doing the same thing. They telling Black people we need our own party.
Let me hold your thought real quick, because I think you off on that. Let me hold your part. You hold your thought real quick. I don't go to certain restaurants because I don't like the food. Another person that's Black doesn't go to that restaurant because he doesn't like the food. That's not unity. We just kind of have the same thing in common. We don't like that food. Unity is when we come together and say collectively, we're not going to that restaurant. You're saying people aren't voting, but unity means we get together and do it in unison. They're just an agreement.
See, that's the whole. That's the whole point. That we're not recognizing it. Okay.
Well, then it's not. Hold up. If you're not recognizing it, it's not unity then.
No, because
it's not unity,
we
brother.
we're not recognizing because we looking at unity as a answer to a question. It's a behavior. Okay. Now the fact that let's get something straight first. One thing, I'm not a politician. I'm a revolutionary.
Okay, go ahead, brother. I hear you.
Okay, because I'm here to destroy the system that been messing black people up for generations. I'm here to destroy that system. Okay, that system that's in place now is not for us. It was made for somebody else, other people. Okay, not for us, and we still voting for politicians that not your politician. They governed by the Republicans, Democrat. This is their candidates, and we know they don't like you.
But okay, hold your thought, because I mean, I want to make sure we understand you, but I want to make sure that you stay on the task at hand, because we understand all of that with the politicians or anything like that. But I want to keep you on topic, because the normalization of it, the unity of it, is very important. So I understand what you're saying about the voting and things of that nature, because it is critical. But you mentioned something that, we are unified, but if we're unified, it's a lot of black people. So you said a lot of people don't vote. There's still a lot of people that do vote.
Not so really, that's not black people.
Yeah, I disagree. I voted. I know my homeboy didn't vote, so we're not unified on voting.
More people in Baltimore City don't vote than people who vote.
Well, let me ask you this.
Let me give you an example.
Go ahead.
Let me give you an example. Okay. Now, when white people vote in Baltimore City, they vote at a high 80-90%.
That's true.
Hispanic vote pretty much the same way. But black people, which the majority, only vote at a low 10%.
Well, that's an education thing. Why aren't we voting?
It's no.
You saying that because they don't think nothing will change? That's because
they know.
They know nothing.
It's not that they think. They know.
Well, why do white people? Why do white people vote?
Because they're getting what they need.
Well, so then you hit the button. So what do we have to do to vote and get what we need? See, you talking, but you're not giving a solution. The solution is hold up. The solution is if you want people to vote, you have to promise them that they're going to get something for their vote. So how are you going to persuade black people to vote and know that they're going to get something for our vote? See, a lot of times we say these things, but there comes with interest in an educational process. And it seems to me everybody's saying, we need to do this politically. We need to do that politically. We don't need to vote. We do need to vote. But I think the main thing is, if I vote, how do I put in place a structure where I can get the word again, quid pro quo, where I can get something for my vote? Until you can answer that, it's going to be a lot of people not voting.
I'm going to answer it to you.
Go ahead.
Answer it. By putting people in place that want that for you.
How do we know? I'm sure people think Mayor Scott wants that for him, but it's a lot of people not happy with him.
Yeah, but see, that's the whole point. He's a Democrat. He's ruled by the Democratic Party that pretty much don't want you to have. They don't want your kids to have an education. They don't want your brothers to have jobs. They want the crime in the street, so more brothers go to jail.
So you saying don't vote for the Democrats, but people going to say, so you telling me to vote for a Republican?
Nope, I'm telling you to vote for. Like I said, I introduced a black political party.
Well, who's running? Who's running? You can't tell me that you can't give me an option and then I don't know how can I trust that person?
See, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to select 17 people to run and get rid of the whole system.
Hold your thought. How can you tell me as a voter that I need to trust that 17? How do I know that this party ain't the same as Democrat or Republican?
It's not.
How do I know
because you gave your vote to a Republican and Democrat and they do nothing for you. But you, a black man who started a political party, you doubt that black man, but you trust that white man. You see,
well,
you
let
see
me,
how
let me
that
ask
works?
you this. So why would I vote for your party? Isn't there a brother by the name of Brother Nandi, and he has a political party that's a black political party? Are you aware of
Well, he
him?
probably do.
Yes.
He probably do. If you
So
want to
you
vote for that
saying
person,
okay?
if you want to vote for that person, you pretty much free to vote with your party. But if you keep voting for the same system, it's never gonna change.
Okay, now so you hit something. So you saying it's a systematic problem.
It's a systematic problem. The system got to be changed, not the politicians. It's the system have to be changed.
Well, I agree there because this system wasn't built for black people. The system was built to keep black people down.
The system got to be changed. A black political party has to come in and run 17 individuals that's thinking the same generational wealth for black people, independence for black people, politically and financially, independence from black people. That's only way black people going to get up front because we the majority. It's a win-win situation.
Well, can it be accomplished? Because you know that
yes, it is.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this though: are you aware of the black government for our people now that Marcus Garvey left us?
Nope.
See the education process. You know about the red, black, and hold up. You know about the red, black. Hold up.
I do know about that.
You know about the red, black, and green flag, right?
I do know about that.
Okay.
Okay. Like I said, if the party
hold on, hear me out. And I go slow. You know about the red, black, and green flag, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you know there's a constitution to that flag?
Yes, I heard about it. I used to go to the study at the social club too.
Okay, good. So you know there's Declaration of Rights for that flag, right? So Marcus Garvey had everybody going in one nation and saying that they could be a power, this or that globally. So why aren't more people like yourself involved in that and saying, you know what, we could do it this way? What do you think about that?
Because
you're stuttering, brother. Get it out, brother.
No, it's different. Okay, I'm not saying it's not. I welcome it.
I understand what you're saying, though. But for right now, we got to deal with this system. I'm not saying you're
wrong or whatever. I will welcome if y'all can have a party and take away with the system. I'll be with you. Okay, anything to help black people get from under the system, I'm for. Okay, I'm not the guy that's trying to change but the situation of how black people live.
Now you said something that you hold up.
If it's through your people, who you represent in whatever case be, it'll be. This is why we have to work together for this. That we fighting for the same thing, the independence, financial independence for black people. There's no competition here. We're doing the same thing.
You said something. You called yourself a revolutionary.
A revolutionary.
People in the party that you going to be putting in place, are they revolutionaries?
Yes, because they want to change the system.
Okay, so you have these people in mind. Is this going to be a local party or is this going to be a worldwide party?
Right now, it's a local party.
Okay, hold your thought there. So what you're telling me is you have this party, you have these people that are going to join this party. So now I'm going to full circle just to make sure I understand you. So you're telling me that this party is going to come in and they're going to clean the drugs off the street. They're going to bring down the violence. They're going to do all of these things. That's what you're telling me.
Nope. I'm not telling you that.
Oh, hold on, brother.
That's a community.
Hold on, brother.
No, I'm not saying that's a community job. That's the community job.
Well, how's the community? Tell me how's the community supposed to do it? What do you expect from them to do it?
The party is designed to remove that party. The community, that's come from these from the election will be able to change the areas where they live.
How? They can't change them now. The party ain't
Because they
stopping them
don't
from changing them.
because they don't have the power or the finances to do this.
How are they going? Hold up. How are they going to have it with another political party?
Because for the political party, what we fighting for is reparations. Okay.
So you think that man is going to give you reparations? He ain't kicking them out yet.
What man?
The man, the oppressor, the oppressor.
Okay, so that's the whole point. We got to get rid of him.
So you think this party is it going to be full of black people?
It's for black people.
So this party for black people that are so-called revolutionaries are going to overthrow the man who created this system to keep us down, and get reparations.
Yes,
brother. If you make that happen, I'll give you my whole paycheck. If you telling me you can make that happen, but I got to go back to before I let you go. I gotta ask you one thing though that's sticking with me. You said the community can do it. Can't do it now because they don't have no power. How do you know that this political party is going to give them power? What power can they give them? Because historically, we haven't gotten anything from any party. And what makes you think that this political party can just get voted in and go into office and change all of this stuff that's been in place? Because this stuff isn't just about a party. This is about a constitution created by a person, by people that said that black people weren't even a whole man in that constitution. This constitution is not meant for us here. It's only meant for us to be on the bottom. That, all this about unity and one united and all that wasn't meant for us in that constitution. So you trying to tell me that a black party full of a whole bunch of people are going to come in, change the whole system up, and then we'll be able to fix our community ourselves? That sounds like it's a big dream, brother. You got to do more to prove it to our people.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Why is that why is that impossible for you to understand, to actually imagine?
It's not impossible for me to imagine it, but it's impossible for me to imagine it here. I don't think that we're in some kumbaya and this beast of an oppressor is going to sit back and let us take over this country. I'll be delusional if I thought that.
See, we talk about Baltimore City. Baltimore City is a majority black city.
Yeah, but it's under. Hold up. But it's under Maryland.
It's under. Baltimore City is a city.
You're right, but it's under Maryland.
Okay. It has its own government. Baltimore has its own government.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. When Donald Trump brought the guard into I think it was Chicago, no, DC. DC was fighting it, but they couldn't stop him from doing it. They're a government. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
So I'm lost here. You confusing me.
Let
me explain something that I think you understand. I think you are sleeping on this beast of a man. I think that this man has got you fooled to think that you can come in and take over his system. And I believe the only way that we're going to be able to do something is to do it on our own and have our own, but not in this system. And I think that you are kind of fooling yourself if you think that this man is going to let you take over the city.
What am I talking about?
Huh?
No, what am I talking about? I'm talking about removing the system.
How you going to? I'm telling you, they're not going to let you do that.
I already told you how. Okay, see, that's the whole point. People talk, but they got limitations. I do have an end game. The end game is political, financial independence for black people. That's the end game.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the fact that you have a large majority of people in Baltimore City that don't want this system. They asking us to change the system.
So what part of the system, let me ask you, what part of the system would your party be able to change?
Everything.
Start with one thing.
Economic independence for black people.
How
We
would
never
you
got
do
that 40 acres because we never got that 40 acres in the middle. We never ever accomplished.
Hold on. I like
we
that.
Never no. We never
and
ever
I see you,
accomplished
Kev.
that.
Hold tight. I gotta get this in. I like that. I like what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you were in your party and you became mayor. How are you going to give me this economic stability, this 40 acres and the mule? What are you going to do?
Because all the condemned buildings in Baltimore City, it's just sitting there. All those buildings will convert to the black community with the money to fix it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now the community actually be able to create wealth to fund their schools, send doctors to college, get free health care. The only thing we don't do, if we had the money and the power to fix everything in our neighborhoods, we can send our kids in conditions better than we have today. But we don't
I
have
agree
the
with you there. I agree with
power.
you there.
We don't have the power to create anything other than nothing.
So the
We never got
university,
that financial that committed from the country for that.
so the University of Maryland, John Hopkins, you're going to be able to tell them that they can't keep doing what they're doing. You're going to just stop them, and we taking over for black people. I'm not saying you wrong on your thought process, brother, because you've been going around saying it. But I just want to make sure you understand that this system is systematically set up for us not to just come in and take it over. So you have a lot of, listen, what you're saying is great. The abandoned buildings, giving them to the black people. I agree with you. Everything you're saying, I agree with you on. But I think it's one thing that you don't understand. It's just deeper than getting in office. Somebody is still going to be controlling things because it's systematic. And I think that you're under the assumption that you can come in locally and just change things. And I want to. I'm talking about Baltimore City. I'm talking about Baltimore City. I'm talking about Baltimore City. So I'm talking about you would have to have everybody on board within the city. And then once you make those decisions, you're going to have to go with the people that are controlling the money to go with you.
The controller, right?
Right. Are those black people?
All every 17 seats.
No. Hold up. Once you get everybody in your, let's say your political party took over everything. Let's say your political party took over every seat in Baltimore City. And then you even grew. You went down Chicago and got your political party and you took over everything in Chicago. You think that those people that are funding, that are really behind, that are systematically in control are going to allow you to take from them? You think they're going to go in and tell Johns Hopkins University, who's controlling a lot of land, that's building a lot of stuff, the University of Maryland, who's taking land and building a lot of stuff, which is one of the main reasons for gentrification, is those two entities just alone, not to mention the banks and everything. You think you're just going to come in and be able to do that? Because what I'm trying to tell you, I think it's more than that. I think if the mayor could just, you say the mayor's controlled, I think it's those people controlling them. And I think your party would fail if you don't have an idea how to control that money that's governing the city.
Well, this is what we have. We have people. Okay, we got brothers like you. We got brothers like Bill Gooden. We got brothers like Murphy.
But hold up. I love Brother Bill. I'm glad you put me in a company. Hold up. I'm glad you put me in a company of Brother Bill. I'm glad you put me in the company of Brother David and all of these great brothers. But it's something that I don't know about them that I can tell you I don't have any money. I'm straight soldier with it. I'm out here fighting the good fight. But if you're gonna ask me for some money to fight John Hopkins and them, I'm gonna say, brother, just tell me when we going to war, because I can't fight that fight. And so what I'm trying to tell you is there's a reason why Donald Trump's in power. There's a reason why Brandon's, like you said, somebody's controlling Brandon Scott. I don't even know if they're Democrat or Republican controlling Brandon Scott. but it's people with money that we don't have that's controlling the system. So I just want to make sure that when you plan this thing out and you think that you can take over, that once you get in office, you still got to fight those people. And that's the systematic thing that's going on, if that makes sense.
Well, anything that's worth it is worth dying for or worth fighting for.
I ain't saying don't give up, brother.
Okay?
I'm just
Okay,
educating.
the whole point, we have to be in the fight. Right now, we're not even in the fight.
That's true.
Okay?
That's true.
The first discussion was, the first one was, are we comfortable with homicides and crime and drugs in the street? Okay? We are powerless people. We're going to have to try to take this stuff or die. How many generational wealth has to start with a generation? It's going to be a generation to have to sacrifice itself to create for the next generation. How can the next generation accomplish anything is we keep failing?
I feel you.
Okay, somebody got to fight the fight. Okay, if people want to be spectators, it's okay. That's not me. Okay, I'm not. Like I said, I'm a revolutionary. I'm not. I'm done with spectator sport. Okay, people talk about black unity, black this here, they here, but the time to fight is now. We got the numbers. All we need is the party and the people to support it.
True.
Okay, I mean, are we going to be the same as the same 50 years ago when we got the vote and they only gave us two choices, Republican and Democrat?
Well, I want you to close out on this because you was powerful tonight. You've been really coming a little hard lately. Something must have changed after that last election because you've been coming a little hard. I like this version of Keith Scott. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I just want you to close out with this because right now your party's not in place, right? So we're not gonna talk about right now. What would you like to see happen, or what could happen right now from the people in place, and not just in Baltimore, and black cities locally? What do you think could happen immediately for us to reduce the crime, reduce the drugs, reduce the violence? Because I think that's the thing. Not like the mayor said. Crime is down, but being down, if it is down, it's not good enough for me. So closing out, what could be done immediately to affect some change and to affect some change in our communities, and close out with that.
You ready for the answer?
Come with it, brother. You ready to give me something hot, powerful?
Yes, this is powerful. You want to hear it?
I'm ready.
Absolutely nothing.
Say that again, brother. Don't do nothing?
No, we can do absolutely nothing to change our current conditions.
No, I'm saying if let me go back and rephrase it. Maybe you misunderstood me. If you were in power right now, if you were Brandon Scott, and yeah, I know you said people controlling Brandon Scott. If you were the Chicago mayor, what have you, and you just said, yo, you said you're a revolutionary. You're a revolutionary. And what's one thing that you will buck right now and go say, man, this is what I'm gonna do? Are you still saying it's nothing?
I was mayor, I was mayor of Baltimore City,
right now,
create economic wealth for black people in Baltimore City. If the people in Baltimore City had the economic power to fund their schools, clean up their streets, give brothers jobs, you won't have crime.
I want you to be specific. Are you talking about Baltimore City as a whole or the black community?
Well, the black community.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure you're specific.
If the black community had the ability to create wealth, we could take care of ourselves.
I agree with you. Close out. Just let the people know I agree with what you're saying. We may have a different way of going about it, but I want you to know, my brother, I'm gonna keep you on because I want your way to work. But you gotta prove you can get them people in power, and you gotta prove systematically that it can happen. But I'm supporting you, and that's for sure. I'm definitely supporting you. and I
Well,
respect you with that.
well, once I acquire my 10,000 signatures, game's on.
My man. All right, that is
Game's
my man, Keith Scott. We got a couple more joining, and I want to get to Kev. I've been making them wait. So, Kev, you up next. Thank you again, brother Keith Scott. Powerful, brother, powerful.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
All right, I'm going to go to my man, brother Kevin, real quick. I'm only going to play one quick commercial. Let me get myself together, and we will be right back. Hold tight. Baltimore don't sleep. We move. Hands in the dirt, feet on the block, food in the streets, knowledge to the youth. This ain't charity, this is power. The Universal Negro Improvement Association running the community like infrastructure. No permission, no waiting. Black self-reliance in real time. Legacy heavy, boots planted, all in the name of Marcus Garvey. UNIA Baltimore Division 106, Barker Clark. We working. Yo, that was hard. I've been working on my videos. I gotta get them better. I'm working. But if you're in need of a video for your business or what have you, hit me up. I'm really very, very affordable. I only really charge. If you're in the black community, definitely hit me up. And I may work with you. Pay your UNIA dues to your government. And I'll take care of you. We just want to help the black community out. We ain't trying to make no money. I'm going to bring in my next guest. We have 2 people in the green room. So hold tight. I see you, Brother Ory, and I see Dr. Daw. Oh, shoot. Dr. Daw. So let me bring in my good brother Kevin real quick. Peace and blessings, brother Kevin. Of course, race first. What's going on with you?
What's going on with you, man? Race first.
Race first, man. Every time I bring brother, I love that brother because he's passionate. He has a strong belief in changing the system, and I really like him for that. But I always want to throw him to the fire because I just want him to know it's not as easy, just to take over. This man ain't letting. This man he's a beast. He's a beast.
Yeah, I got a little confused on that one a little bit, but
yeah. But he's thinking political power, he's thinking political power. But I want to get back on the subject real quick. And I know you've been a community. You've also coached football before, right? So you dealt with the youth and things of that nature. Right. And the topic, why are we normalizing this? It could be just me. Are there any solutions? Should we be giving up? Because it just seems now that it's just normal for us.
It's more glorified than normalified. Glorified more. Because at some point, kids are only being taught, or they're being shown only a certain thing. And that certain thing is what they see, social media, in the streets, what's being talked about, what's being praised. And they're going with that notion because they think that's the thing to do.
Right.
A lot of it, I feel like we lost accountability. Parents, the schools, the community, we lost accountability. I look at it like this: if it's a triangle offense, Chicago Bull won titles using the triangle offense. That has to come from the school, the parent, and the community. That's the triangle offense. However, through the years of process, it's just been placed on one person. And that one person is not the parent. It's the teacher. Now, teachers are supposed to teach. They're going to teach. But teaching starts at home for the first 5 years.
No doubt.
So the parents is feeding the sponge misinformation. So when that child enters into an environment of education from what they was taught home, they're going to display at school. Because the teacher can't be right because the one person that said they love me said this. You know, but they're being misinformed. It can change, but it takes every household to be accountable for the household first. Once you can sharpen up your household, then you can filter into your community and brighten that up. But it starts home, man. It starts home. It's home training. You know, yesterday, um, I've been advertising the Sunday Fun Day for us kids getting free haircuts. And a parent that's in the community saw the flyer, and she asked the question, "What days are you doing it on?" I had to stop myself. Now I took my hat off, scratched my head, like, "What you mean? What days am I doing it on?" I said, "It's self-explanatory. Blessed Sunday Fun Day." That just showed me that mom couldn't read.
Ooh. You hit something there, Kev, because when we talk about our community and we talk about, you know, some of the things that the parents can do, though, I don't even want to bring up the reading and writing part of it, but there's a lack of education maybe in just raising a family. You
It
know,
is.
it's culturally missing. Speak on that a little bit because, you know, I grew up. My grandmother, I think my grandmother was different than a lot of grandmothers now, if that makes sense. You know, it was like a
Yeah, it
different.
is.
She did things differently. She taught the family, a family structure. Even in my family, a family structure was different than it is now,
Well,
and
the
it was
family
certain
structure.
things we had. Go ahead.
Well, the family structure is this: women raise their daughters with support. They raise their sons with control.
Mm. Speak on that. Break that down.
She teaches her daughter to be strong, independent, educated. Have your own. Have your own. Do this, do that. The son is, if you go and do this, they're gonna do that. So you're using a form of control to scare him and not to educate him. You're not saying anything promising to him. You're only saying you're gonna do this, you're gonna go to jail, you're gonna do this, they're not saying anything promising. They're not uplifting them. They just automatically tearing them down, and they making them as though they want to be uh, the boyfriend, not understanding that you're raising him to be a man that you wouldn't even date.
Mm. No
So
doubt there.
it's like they raise their daughters with more support because they're teaching them self-esteem by saying, have your own this, have your own that. You need to have a better job, a career, but it doesn't get that way when it comes to the son. Why? I've been there, done that. My mother did me to me. I'm the youngest of two older sisters. You know what I'm saying? So, and I understand that the household is different, but I also understand that my foundation, which is what I came from, was also my trauma.
Right.
But as I grow older, I start to stop eating the gruel that was fed to me and start re-educating myself on, who I am, what's my emotional intelligence, um, things like that to better myself. But as I go out in the community every day, all I can see is parents pointing the blame to, everybody else besides themselves.
Mm.
You know what I mean? They're pushing the blame on everyone else. Oh, they ain't do this and they ain't do that. What did you do?
Mm.
What was your part? What time did you go to the meeting? How did you go to the meeting? You know, years ago, when my son was in elementary school, They told me that they could not keep him back. I told them that was a lie. You're not going to push my son through a school system when he's not ready to move forward.
You know, it's funny you said that, Kev, and I like where you're going, and that's why I like to have different people come on. You got a real passionate brother, Bill Gooden, who is really educating us on the system and how we can unify and get things done. You got brother Keith Scott. He's coming from a political avenue of how the political system is against us. But you struck on something that really hits home by normalizing it. It's a cultural thing. It's
a cultural thing.
It's how our families are going right now, and that is very, very important. It starts back when, you know, in order to get welfare for the black community, the father had to leave the house.
Household.
He had to leave the household.
That's how, and it's still that way today.
Yes.
Because, you know, they will rather, oh, they say I worked too many hours. I got to quit my job so I can still receive these benefits. So there's no responsibility or accountability there. So if you know that, and you putting yourself in an environment, an unstable environment, and you put your son, you move, put like this, for instance, if you move into projects and you don't work hard to get out of there, it's not your son's fault for what he had to adapt himself to do to survive. You're putting someone in an atmosphere where they have to adapt. That's not just like I said before. They normalizing it. Like, how can you normalize that?
Right.
Well, because everybody else. You know, everybody else is doing it, and everything. Like, no, but you have to, like, nah. So it's like they glorify, you know, they glorify a lot of stuff, man. I don't think we want to normalize it. I know at least I didn't. I don't. But, you know, the average person, they get on social media, what's the first thing they see in the morning time? Someone fighting, someone fussing.
That's right.
The last thing you go to sleep to, you go on social media, someone fighting and someone fussing. The first time you see something, nobody calling for help, they grabbing their cell phones, recording it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone fighting, someone fussing. They're normalizing it. So that's a part of the problem. If someone constantly show you something over and over and over again, you think that that's the normal.
Let me ask you this.
So they glorify it.
Let me ask you this, because this is something very important. We agree that there's a lack of what we used to have in the black communities culturally, as far as our families. We're not calling out all families, but just, you know,
right.
Some things are going on. How can we get back to that systematically? Because they're not going to allow. One of the things I believe also that was frustrating them, and Brother Bill Gooden spoke on this one, the collegiate school for boys, is that they may not have been doing it, but once you get a whole bunch of black males in there, you can start. It's more than just sometimes the test scores. You're starting to build men, teaching the men to take care of their families the right way, teaching men to go to work and get jobs, teaching men to be accountable for themselves. And if they're gonna get rid of schools like that, do we need to create more schools? Is it a lack of? How can we get our families back in order?
I think we have to like, say for instance, like, you know, they have job readiness programs. They have all these different programs for you to build a resume, know how to do certain answer questions. We have to have those type of courses again.
Yeah.
We have to have family courses again. You know what I'm saying? Family-oriented courses of, not to say a role description, but a role description in the sense of, look, this is what we do as black men. This is what we do as black women. It's a balance to raise this one child. This is the role that you play as the grandmother. This is the role as you play as the grandfather. All right, teacher, this is your job to take from what I'm teaching him and you're teaching him. we have to work back and forth together. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're my son's teacher and I'm teaching something at home, I have to communicate with you about how you are applying it, what you're teaching, vice versa. So then that we can say, okay, so allow me to do this, and I'm gonna take what you did and I'm gonna implement the same thing. So we're not implementing healthy households or healthy classes for household, then guess what? We're not gonna have it. So we have to have those type of programs set aside where though we can sit there and say this is how things were structured and it worked.
Right.
Not saying everything from those times will probably work now, but having a man in the house with the correct mindset is a big change. It's a big change, and having the mom in a household with a good mindset, it can be things better. But when we don't have the man in the household and we just have babies raising babies and they look up more to the dude outside versus the dude in the house, there's a problem. Back then, you looked at athletes as athletes. I know I did. I didn't look at athletes as being role models.
No, I just wanted the loot they had. I wasn't trying to be like them.
I wasn't
trying
trying
to
to
be
be like
funny you
them.
said that. And I'm gonna get you to close out, man. But it's funny you said that because when we were growing up, it was two people. As I started to see things change, we used to look up to the dude that owned the corner store, that used to have a nice car to support the community, and somewhere it switched to where it was the drug dealer. Because the corner stores and the crack, I'm 53, and the whole dynamic started to change, and the black owned businesses started going away. I'm sure Brother Ory could talk about that, and the drug dealer became the guy that you would look to, and he wasn't always bad. He'd be like, "Yo, shorty, this ain't for you. Go to school," but you're looking at him, and all that good advice don't matter because he's doing what he's doing, which is in a sense hurting the community. So yeah, it's just funny how things have changed, and like you said, going back, how things have changed, and we got to get back to the businessman
Right.
being the guy. I got the guy that goes to work being the guy.
Growing up, that's who I modeled after. A lot of people ask me, how do I learn the things that I learned? I say, being nosy. You knew who the mechanic was in our neighborhood. You knew who was a player. You knew who was a father who didn't play that. You knew who grandmother didn't play that. You know who house you can go to if you need to borrow some sugar. You knew everybody's identity in the community. Also, and where I grew up at, everything was black owned.
Yeah, yeah. Especially in the area
Everything
you
was
at now.
black owned. Everything where I grew up in East Baltimore was black owned. Eagle Street, Caroline, Biddle, Preston, Huffman Holbrook, Ashworth, Harford Avenue, Oliver, all that was black owned. It was the Black Party's headquarters that was on Eagle Street.
Mm.
And they had the after school and before school care on Eagle and Caroline Street. Everything was black owned. So as I here today, a black owned establishment, I give them the sight to see. Look, you don't have to be that way. You can be this way and be different and still grow in life. So I show them structure every morning. I'm outside, vigilant. Good morning, how you doing? Just so they can feel safe walking to school.
Right.
Do that every morning. When school let out, hey, how you doing? How was your day? All right, tie your shoe up, buddy. All right, have a good all right, make it home safe. I'm vigilant. They can see me.
Right.
They
and
don't
that's
even
important.
they call me Mr. Barbershop. Hey, Mr. Barbershop. I understand it. Cause growing up, hey, they don't know your name, they know it's a barbershop. Hey, Mr. Barbershop. So they can identify and say, well, he owns that and he works here, but he also sweep up his grass, he sweep up the trash. There's no trash around. He put trash cans on the corner, and they don't drop their trash here. So they're held to be accountable for their stuff as well. They straighten up when they get to my block. Oh no, that's Mr. Barbershop right there. Don't throw that down the ground. If they think I'm looking, they gonna pick it up and wait till they get to the trash can, throw it in there.
Let me get you to close out, Kev, but I want to speak on you real quick. For those that don't know that what you're talking about, I've seen it firsthand. We would do Juneteenth festivals and you shut down a whole block. You've had vendors out on the block.
Right.
You wash,
Yeah.
you have a car wash business where you washing the cars in the community. You have your own clothing business where you sell
Right.
clothes out of your barbershop and you got the barbershop. So people that couldn't visualize when he's saying he's outside and he's being visual, he's actually doing business work and actually being on the street. And whenever you ask the UNIA, yo, I want y'all to set up on my block, we shutting down a whole block and the community is coming. Man, that's just powerful. But just close out, if any closing remarks you can tell our people to just not give up the fight.
Yeah, just I think we could give the youth a chance because they've been misled. I think they want discipline and structure. They're just afraid to ask for it. So don't beat them up. Be kind to them, and just give them a little time. They'll come around because we are older now. Though doesn't mean that we wasn't as being disobedient when we was growing up as kids.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
It took something to happen for us to change our mindset so we can grow older and have the knowledge that we do have to at least try to give back to those who want it.
I say, appreciate you, brother Kev. Definitely link up. Oh, real quick, talk about that on Sundays. Real quick, what you doing for the community? Real quick on Sunday.
Oh, we started. It's called Blessed Sunday Fun Day. Kids that registered, we will select 2 kids twice a month to receive a free haircut. The program is based on teaching kids about hygiene, how to keep their hair healthy and their skin healthy. Also, it builds confidence, self-esteem, and awareness of who they are internally to reflect externally. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing for the rest of the summertime. So kids can register. They will be randomly selected. You will be notified by phone your appointment date and time. It's free of charge. We just ask the parents to be present so we can start conversations in front of the child so the child can see 2 adults conversate, a healthy conversation. So that's what it's about. Parent has to be present, and we're going to ask certain questions about school, about growing up, about what they want to become in life, and the objective to get them to see like it's a healthy conversation at the barbershop, not what they hear in the other barbershops, but here is a healthy conversation that I care for them, and I care about them.
Man, I appreciate you, Kevin. Whenever you need us, we there. We got your back, good brother.
No problem. Appreciate you.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right, peace. That was Brother Kevin. Powerful brother, powerful button. Numa Alpha, Sister Basima, former 4th Assistant President General. If I'm not mistaken, she was one of the longest 4th Assistant President Generals ever in the UNIA, and it's a sister. So just to let you know, we support our sister. She was commenting on what Kevin said, and she's right. Rites of passage. I'm going to bring in our next guest, and then I see you right up next after him. Brother Ory, peace and blessings, good brother. Sorry to make you wait, but I got to get it in. It was powerful.
I'm enjoying the program, Brother Everett.
I appreciate you. The topic today, I try to come up with these topics, and it just seems like whatever goes in my head, and I'm frustrated all the time. For those that don't know, I was driving down by Lexington Market, and I said, damn, trash everywhere. Just like you just seeing people, Lexington Market. And it's an open drug area. And I was just like, man, have we normalized this? Then that later that night, I'm watching about the guns and the violence. And it just started to dawn on me. I've actually started to normalize it because I'm seeing it all the time. Now I'm in the fight, but I'm so used to it. It's not normal. And it just really bothered me. I wanted to get your thoughts on it and just go in on, or in any of the brothers that you heard as well. and introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, my name's Ory Shabazz. Born and raised in Baltimore. Um, I don't really put myself into any kind of bag. I'm a regular dude, just a regular dude from the street. That's it. But on the issue, uh, a lot of times I definitely appreciate everybody that preceded me. And I know you mentioned Dr. Daw, uh, like in the guest room. But my thing is, when I engage, I try to have some references instead of just talking about me and what I think.
Right.
And I Gary Webb and Dark Alliance have weighed in on normalizing drugs in our community. He talks about the federal government's hands in all of this, and he breaks it down, step by step, the whole crack epidemic, um, drugs in Vietnam back in the day, coming back home with a lot of our brothers, and it's been portrayed a few times. So it's not really us uh, normalizing this stuff. It's like we talk about in politics. It's the puppeteer, you see, controlling things from afar. Um, but I guess a lot of people say it's our responsibility, however, to stop it. Dr. Neely Fuller says that we're at war and all of us are prisoners and we're at different levels, you see. But we're talking about Dr. Neely Fuller. This man just passed away at 94. He's been putting this work in for scores. You see, produced Dr. Francis Cress Wellesley.
Yeah.
So when we talk about these matters, we got to have more than just my personal experiences. We have to have a reference point of people who have put this work in even before we came on the planet.
That's right.
See, so it's good to hear from men and women and to hear their personal experiences. But oftentimes, or at least sometimes, I think I have to have references because this thing is bigger than me as an individual and the experiences that I might have had. You see, so if drugs and violence is being normalized, um, it's being normalized by the United States government. You see,
Bingo. Yeah.
and we read "Wretched of the Earth" by Frantz Fanon, and he talks about the lack of resources. For example, we might say we have 80 people living in a particular area, but resources to take care of only 30 of those people. What happens with the other 50?
That's right.
See, that's Frantz Fanon. That's not me. And I, concede to our scholars. And when I'm in the community, I know it's difficult. And a lot of days I may not make it home, but I don't chastise the community.
Right.
I'm here to try to stand up for the regular brother. I mean, like myself, just regular people doing whatever to survive. Part of that 50 who wasn't privileged with the resources. So we scrambling.
Yeah.
And it's not an intellectual thing with us. It's day-to-day survival for real.
You were in this. I'm sorry to cut you off. You flowing, you powerful, and I just wanted to add because for those that don't know, we actually graduates from Carver High School.
No doubt.
Bentlow and Pressman. So a lot of people out of town, when they talk about where my high school was located or Freddie, I'm like, I'm not too far. I could walk to there. Like that was starting grounds. I went to Carver. But you worked in the school system. Not only did you graduate from Carver, you taught at Carver for a while. Talk about some of the things you think we could do, or maybe even demand now or that could just help just build maybe a better, I don't know how to even put it, maybe just get our school systems to help our Black children a little bit more to not only get through this, but have options not to get involved in it.
Wow,
It's
that's deep.
tough. Yeah, it's tough because it's I think it involves schools like the collegiate boys, those schools that they closing, because those schools, we knew the owner. We could maybe we didn't do it at the time, and
Mhm.
that's crazy. But we could have been like, let's get the rites of passage in here. Let's do this. Let's make sure the flags and because I think that's what they were fearing. But I would just say that's one of the things, to have our own type of curriculum or something. But I just don't know. But we have to change some things in there as well, I'm thinking.
Right, no doubt, no doubt. I actually retired from one local college here, and we would do adult classes throughout the year, and rites of passage was part of the curriculum. But in terms of public education, uh, that's a major part of the battle now. That's a major part of the struggle. And we're not talking about down the road.
Right.
We're not talking about next year. We're talking about right now, today. How do we get involved? But I think what's really paramount is that when you have the podcast and we have these guys come on and we're beginning to have this conversation, and it always starts with a conversation.
Right.
Yeah, but rites of passage and getting involved, not next week, but today. You see, in our communities with the schools or in any one of those 9 areas that Dr. Neely Fuller talks about. Because it's one thing to, like the brother was saying, being on the sideline, and it's something different when you're having the experience of being in the game.
Right.
You see, no matter how much influence you think you have or do not have, you're in the game. You see, so if we have a school in our community, we got to realize that is our school. And then the shortcomings that we see, we can't just highlight them. Now we are responsible to fill in those gaps.
That's right.
You see something missing, okay, then fill in the gap. You see, then that kind of limits, the intellectualization of the issue or the concern, because now you're involved and you're doing the work. You see, and our schools are in trouble, but they're our schools, they're our city, and we gotta get involved. And we're not talking about, this. I mean, planning is part of the process, but we're not talking about elaborate planning to the point that we're not doing anything now. You see, wherever you see the shortcoming, but it's a difficult task because we have what many people describe as the strongest country in the world. And some say the strongest that has ever existed. I don't know if that's true, but it's our main enemy. And we can't get around that fact that the
Not to
federal
cut you off, Brother Ory. We was in Philadelphia. The President General of the UNIA said that. He said, "Make no doubt about it. The UNIA. I'm sorry. Make no doubt about it. The United States is a powerful, it's a great country, but don't mistake that for a good country." He makes not for us. He said. So I had to say that. He said it's a great country, but don't make it be a good country for us. So you on point.
Right. But people are responding. Men and women are responding. And this thing can get complex. But no matter what happens, people are responding, and we got to find a way to come together.
Yes.
And Dr. Neely Fuller talks about code. And in the code, he talks about in the beginning, one of the first things we have to stop doing is fighting with each other. The brother was talking about on social media, the last thing you see is a fight or argument. And then you wake up in the morning, it's the first thing you see. And so what Neely Fuller had laid down years ago is that we got to stop fighting each other. We got to stop hating on each other. And we got to find a way to work it out. But ultimately, he's talked about the killings and how we have to stop murdering each other. And he started there, then he just broke it all the way down to stop arguing with each other. Dr. Nellie Fuller said, we can't do that. We don't even need to be around each other. Go somewhere else.
Right.
Don't even be around each other because you're fighting each other too much. You see, and this is an elder, now ancestor, put his life into this work. And we put him on the shelf and we leave him there. And I'm saying, no, we gotta read sometime. Gotta go to everyone's place. Or any bookstore. But I say everyone's place.
Everyone's place is that's a bad bookstore if you want some books to uplift yourself.
Right. Me and Sister Tabia and Nati has been on this thing for 4 decades plus. And so I think we have a little insight in terms of the power of the text. You know, we got to read what our people have been saying to us, you know, and put a lot of it into action. And instead of thinking that now we have to recreate the wheel. You see, Malcolm said that anybody doing anything to help our people, he's with it. You see, now how are we going to come on the scene now and say something different? Oh, I can't be a part of that because of whatever. But you know he's trying to help out.
Right.
And he may not be on the same page that you're on, but he's trying to do something. He's trying to help. And so what we're going to do is we're going to support the effort.
Right.
So it's rough out here. It's bad, if you will. But at the same time, situation is pregnant with possibilities.
Yeah.
I'm sure and to find a way to support local politics. You know, and one of the things about not being perfect, it makes you a little humble.
Yeah.
You see, so far be it for me to point the finger at Brandon Scott and highlight his imperfections, which don't compare to mine.
Right.
So who am I to, only I can do is support this young brother. You know, the same with
the governor.
Westmore.
Yeah, I
said,
try.
we
I'm
don't
sorry
need
to
no
cut you off. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Right. We need a committee to explore reparations. I'm like, what?
Right.
But even with that, I'm finding a way, to say, wait a minute. And with Brandon Scott and Crockett says that suddenly it's crickets. Like you don't hear from people on big issues like the collegiate school from Brandon Scott. But I'm still with this guy, man, 100%. And we don't have to agree on everything.
Right.
But that's not me. That's Nellie Fuller.
Right.
You see, saying no matter what, hanging there with brothers, don't fight with brothers all the time, and da 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 da. And the main point though is that we haven't normalized the decadence, and now the federal government has. You see, and Tupac said they want us dead, and when we try to do right, they kill us every time. You see, and they're honoring him tonight. Orioles game with a bobblehead.
My boy went. That was crazy. He just sent me a picture of it. I'm like,
right.
Tupac?
Right.
And then I'm thinking he was in Baltimore. They got the little Baltimore Orioles thing on. I just was shocked that the Orioles would do it, but such is life.
Right. But my thing is to let them take Pac from us.
Right. Because they changed the whole mental aspect of what he was. Yes.
Right, but when we talk about Pac, we talking about Black Panther themes at least.
Yes.
See? And somebody to transition at 25. And so at 50, 60, 70, we know how young 25 is.
Yeah.
And so not to let them take Pac from us, but these people have been, co-opting Pac for a minute. Baltimore Symphony Orchestra plays his music at the Hippodrome and other places up and down the East Coast. But again, when they did announce this bobblehead thing, they had more excitement downtown over a Orioles game.
Yeah.
That Tupac bobblehead than any other game in the past this year.
That's true.
You see, and so we got to see the value in one another.
Yeah.
And so people try to come down on Pac sometimes, call him a misogynist. I'm like, what, a misogynist? You know, find out what that means first. Wait a minute. Then how could he have done Brenda's Got a Baby? You see, it doesn't compute. You see, so we can't let people keep instigating us against one another.
Before I get you to close out, Brother Ory, I'm going to bring Brother Dar on. You know about the event tomorrow. It's supposed to rain, but we're going to be down there. It's the 40th annual Motherhood and Womanhood celebration, the 40th. So we getting with Baba Duggar, and it's at the Wall of Pride and Respect, 1641 North Carey. You know where that's at? They got the big mural of Marcus Garvey and everything. My boy did that painting, by the way, Ernest Shaw. Shout out to Ernest.
Yeah, Street.
Okay, so you know where it's at. So
we started Marcus Garvey days right there, and then we marched to Harlem Park.
That was the last time we did it was a few of us, and Baba Duggar said we still going, and we did it. But just closing out, so I can bring Dr. Daw and just one recommendation that you would like to see for our community to heal itself and get stronger. What do you think? I know that's another deep one.
It is. But I would suggest we listen to Dr. Daw's program. You know, when he comes on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Listen to your podcast. You see, because people are beginning to talk to one another. And it begins with a conversation. You see, come to the Black Men's Breakfast every month.
Powerful one last Saturday, too.
Right. Yes, it was. And they had mentioned the sister who owned the furniture store in Park Heights who transitioned. Her funeral was also tomorrow.
Oh, man. I didn't know. That's right. They did mention that, yeah?
Right. And I can't think of the sister's name right now.
Hakeem mentioned it, didn't he?
Right. Hakeem and the brother who sponsored the Black Men's Breakfast.
Mark.
He elaborated, actually.
Right.
So I her name.
Davon. Davon. Right. Yeah, Davon mentioned it.
Davon.
I forgot her name. Yeah, I forgot her name.
And UNIA. He collected the change and stuff. Well,
Brother Mark.
Exactly.
Mark. Yeah, Brother Mark.
So when I'm listening to Dr. Dar, I'll put her name in the messages.
Okay.
Yeah, but it starts with the conversation. I would strongly suggest that people listen to yourself. Come to Black Men, Unifying Black Men, and to certainly tune in to Dr. Dar, because with Dr. Dar, we're talking about something new, something different, something fresh and current. You see, and so and UNIA is historic.
Yeah.
And so we have these two powerful entities, and I don't underestimate. Or what I do is I see the power in both. You see, so I'm a proponent of both, and I support both of you guys in a lot of other efforts on the part of African men. So I look forward to signing off and listening to Dr. Dar. But I just want to say again, though, that we haven't normalized the drugs and the crime and all that in our communities. The federal government has, and they're not letting up.
Right.
And we are their enemy. You see, and like I said, Dr. Neely Fuller said that we're losing this battle, and that we're in prison. Different levels of being. And I'll end on that note.
I appreciate you, Brother Ory, and whenever you need us, you got your back. And you got that video, that speech of the PG saying it. Convention, you're going to get to meet him. I'm going to introduce you. And he rocks that speech a lot. He's coming to Baltimore, August. The convention is here, so we're going to have a lot of events at night. The meet and greet at Terra Cafe, and we're going to have a panel discussion that Friday at TNAT. Have some UNIA members and mix it up. And so it's gonna be powerful, man. And we already linking up to do a Great Blacks and Wax. The President General wanted to do that. Try to get him to see the statue and everything early Saturday. And our gala is going to be powerful. That is Saturday night. So I'm going to have all the info for you. So we got a week that you can hang out with some UNIA members.
That was good. Looking forward to it, brother.
All right. I appreciate you, Brother Ory. I'll talk to you soon. Race first.
Race first.
All right, man. I'm about to bring in my next guest. I see a few people still on. I think we still on TikTok, but I'm not even sure. So I need y'all to, wake up for me real quick. I know I've been pounding y'all, but I need more likes, man. So come on. Let's do this, man. I need y'all to do me one favor and hit that like button. Make sure that we get this information out to the people. Please hit that like button. And let's do it this way. Smash the like button.
Smash it now!
All right, and if you're on YouTube, you may not be watching now. You may watch later. Do me this favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. And if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, UNIA Rock, ROC, media.com. We got a powerful platform. You can go right there and watch it on a Black-owned platform. We got a lot of work we're going to be doing to the channel. We have community focus on Tuesdays and Mondays and Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. And I'll be coming on hopefully every Friday. And we're starting to build up that platform. So we're trying to get it to where we have a bunch of shows like this on a Black-owned network. So, we know YouTube is powerful. Definitely go check us out there. The UNIA Rock on YouTube, and of course, Real Truth and Power on YouTube. But definitely support UNIA Rock Media. We're building it up. And one more time, subscribe if you're on YouTube. And do me one last favor to make sure y'all up. I need y'all to do this for me. Smash that like button. Come on, Facebook. Let's get it going. Come on, Instagram. Let's get it going. And maybe we're on Twitter. Maybe we're on Twitter. I'm not sure. Let me bring in my good brother now. We're getting it in. Uh-oh. Dr. Dog, what's going on with you? Please introduce yourself to the people real quick while you get yourself.
You say peace and blessings, peace and power. I'm not sure if I'm clear. Hopefully I am clear.
Yeah, I hear you. Something in the background. Where you at? But you good to go.
I'm in Nala's at Nala's the Senegalese restaurant.
Oh, okay. My man.
Yeah, so I appreciate all those who came before me. They were very powerful. You say introduce myself. I'm Dr. Dennis Osaraw Winkler, aka Dr. Daw. Founder of Temple New African Thought, TNET Holistic Wellness Center, all other things. But yeah, I'm your brother.
Yes, you are, my UNI brother. So, the topic, and it's been bothering me, like I've said, and Brother Ory said something that was really powerful. He said, don't look at it as we're normalizing the problem. Look at it like the government is. They're not doing anything about it. And they're leaving us in these conditions, which has really been bothering me. Just frustrated, man. Sometimes I just get tired of it. It feels like I'm in a fight and nothing's changing. And it feels like we're giving up. And so I was like, are we normalizing? So I guess it's a few different things in that. Have we normalized? Brother Ory says no. It's the government, and we're just a struggling people trying to get out of these conditions. What's been done to improve these conditions? And what do you recommend?
Yeah, I want to first off start by saying, Brother Baba Ory, I really appreciated his analysis. I really did, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say that. And I appreciate that he utilized references, but I also like to say that not only did he utilize references, he utilized a pluralistic, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, black-centered, revolutionary-centered, African-centered type of model to or frame to see things through, to help bring clarity. I'm trying to move this thing so it can be right, but
You
okay,
good?
I don't know what I'm doing. Okay,
You
all
there?
right,
You
here we
there?
go. Here we
You
go.
there? Yeah.
Okay, so I really really appreciated that, and I think that's what part of what we need to do. We need to have frameworks and ideas, not those who've come before us and those who are currently here, to help us see these things clearly. As one of my mentors, Dr. Henry Gregory, says, if we use models, it allows us to get out the way. And I think that's what Baba Ory was pretty much saying. Not that we're not essential, but sometimes we can get caught up in our own emotions. And so when we get caught up in our emotions, not that emotions aren't that they're totally bad, it's just that they're actually good, but with emotions without any structure or framework or foundation can become very dangerous and misleading.
I'm glad you said that
So,
real quick, not to cut you off.
mhm,
I'm glad you said that because when I come up with these conversations, that's why I want to bring them to the
mhm.
table because my state of mind is that at that particular time.
Yeah.
Come on, man, Scott. What's going? I think I posted that. Come on, man, Scott. What we going to do with
Oh,
Utah
really?
Street? You know, I posted that right when I started thinking, and you need people like I need to talk to people like yourself and Brother Bill, and like you said, Brother Ory, Baba Ory, and to help me with that emotional twist because we out here we fighting for our people and we need to have these conversations. And like you said, it's good because that emotion brings up the spirit, but then we have to have some
Mhm,
intellectual conversations to go with that. But I'm sorry to cut you off. I just want
mhm.
to interject there, but go ahead, good brother.
No, so I think that I agree with just about everybody that came up.
Uh-oh.
Um, yeah.
You ain't talking about
I'm not saying like,
my good brother Keith Scott, are you?
no, I said I agree with
Okay,
just
okay,
about everybody who came up.
okay.
And what I mean by that is that even if on the small things that I may look at differently, I just think that where I differ is emphasis.
Yes, I
And what I
agree.
mean by
Yes.
that is that everything that everybody said is needed. And often what I find is that people begin to believe that their way is the best way. And if you're not doing it this way, then you're not doing the work. And I'm not just saying it as a means of just trying to get along because I'm not that person. But I do want to get along. That's a part of my personality. But also part of my personality is to be straightforward. So I'm not just fluffing. I don't do fluffy stuff. But what I want to say is that, for example, some of us will say they tired of talking. It's about action. And I don't care how smart you think that is not. You know what I mean? So,
We gotta talk. We gotta talk. Even I
you
say that
know,
sometimes
it,
without thinking, but we talking now. That's why I got the podcast. We gotta talk. You know what I mean? So it's like
yeah,
I'm saying it, but I don't mean it. But I understand why people would think that. But we have to talk. We have
right.
to discuss. We have to plan. But go ahead. You're
hmm
right.
It's really saying I'm frustrated. That's what that really means. I'm
That's what it
frustrated.
means.
I want to
Yeah.
see change and I'm tired, you know. But I believe to answer your question from my standpoint, my framework, and I agree with the spin or the approach that Baba Ory brought to it. But I also do believe, what was the question again? I do believe that that to some degree we
Normalizing.
normalized it.
Uh-huh.
I do. I believe not in a sense that maybe in a simple sense, but to some degree, I believe people have to normalize that which they're doing to help them feel okay as people. And I'm talking on a psychological domain. Like we know it's wrong. We don't want to accept it. But it's like we have to trick ourselves into saying this is okay. But I want to say furthermore, the things that you're calling out, I will say these are symptoms. Drug issues, violence. These are, in fact, not just symptoms, but these are ways that people are trying to cope.
Mm.
All of them. I think you said drugs, violence, and something else.
Crime.
These are
Crime. Well,
all
they both are
in
kind of
calm.
related, yeah.
So, right. So people are trying to cope. So when I don't know how to regulate my emotions well under the stress and environment, that's why I'm saying everybody's right. The people who went to these structural conversations talking about the white man and the government and the system and all that, that systems analysis, as you were doing with your dear brother, a lot of one of these people you were on here, you were going back and forth with him.
Yeah, just
I
challenge him,
think it
my
was
good brother. Brother Keith. I
yeah,
like to challenge him.
it was good. So I
Yeah.
think the system approach is absolutely what it is. But I also agree with that it is also us. And what I mean is not us that's creating these conditions, but those of us who have to change these conditions. And I also think that we have to look at, and we have these, as Baba Ory said, that part of the issue is that and I argue that we don't know how to communicate. And we communicate out of distress many times. And I think we have to learn to communicate in ways that we can make space for each other, so that we can build with one another instead of not compete, but it's almost like we become a little intolerant and frustrated. So we don't make room for approaches that we don't think work. But the reality is, I don't know. I don't have an opinion of Brandon Scott. I don't. I don't. I don't believe that politicians are going to be able to do everything, though. Nor do I think they. No, I do know they will get. I know they will sell out. But it's not only politicians that will sell out.
That's right.
It's everybody here who has a job, everybody here who has some tenure or wants tenure, or everybody who, like, what I mean is most people are trying to survive in a very toxic system. So I think it's okay for us to name that, because we can't act like Brandon Scott or anybody else isn't being, in order to be in that position, you have to compromise certain things. You have to compromise certain things to be a part of anything. In order to elevate in systems, you will have to compromise certain things. I'm sorry, I'm in this restaurant, so I'm not
No,
sure
you're
if I'm
good.
coming
I'm
across
getting you
clear.
clear. You coming clear. You sound good. I want to hold your
So I
thought
think we
real
also,
quick, because I wanted the veggie back, not piggyback, veggie back off of what you just said.
Nothing wrong with no bacon.
I heard our President General, he was speaking, and he mentioned, a lot of times, like you said, like Baba Ory was saying, he supports Brandon Scott, even though, we want him to do better. He was talking about, and I was kind of shocked he said it, but it made sense. He was talking about Barack Obama. He said, what have you done for black people? That's all what we always say, right? You was in office. What did you do for black people? But then he said something. He was like, but I had to look and say, here's a man that was in Chicago, grassroots program, doing certain things like that. People can pick and choose what they want to say about him to a certain degree. But he said, more so, he just had to rethink how he thought about him. So he didn't, and I think I like what you said. Like, the politicians can do more, but at the same time, it's hard for them to do things, and it's systematic. I just wanted to get that off. But go ahead. I hope I didn't make you lose your thought.
And I will say, in the process, they will sell out. Okay, I just want to be clear. Because one thing I would disagree with is this idea that we can just get a bunch of people together and we just go down there and it's going to bring some. Brandon Scott's going to change his opinion or something. That's just. I get it, but what is that? We can go make all the noise we want to make, but if you ain't paying the check, if you ain't doing the things, if you're not. Yeah, it's got to be more than that. But I'm not saying not to do that. But also we have to give ourselves compassion, because the thing is, we are all stretched thin. I don't know how you do it. I know you calling everybody out, but I can't be at every event.
Nah, I was just frustrated with the lack and just saying, come on, we got to do better. That's all I was saying. We got to do better, because I don't expect everybody to be at every event. Especially tomorrow.
I get your question, though. But I'm saying, But my real question is, I don't know how you do it. My real thought is, I don't know how you do it, but you're doing a lot there. But I also know, if I can, I don't like when people often do this, because black people like to tell you to drink black seed oil for everything and stuff like that, and they try to tell you to go to sleep, and they're not taking care of yourself. But I'm just saying, but I do think it's essential that we also take care of ourselves in the process.
Yeah.
I think that when we're having these conversations, I think we have to be very clear on what kind of conversations we're having. And what I mean by that is, are we having conversations from what I would call first order change conversations or second order change conversations? And what do I mean by that? I mean, the first order change conversations will be those changes that really keep the system intact. That's what Brandon Scott and them doing, okay? You can't expect anything outside of that unless Brandon ready to go in and really pick, do some real things. Maybe somewhere in a lifetime, most of us aren't going to even start a union in our jobs because we feel like that's too revolutionary. But it will take somebody who will, and some group of people that will make the sacrifice to create that second order change, and that is called really disrupting the system. So disrupting the system, I would say, is that second order change, which is very hard work. That's that work that Keith Scott was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Keith Scott was talking about. That structural change. He just wasn't really articulating it that way as much. But I think
I
he
get what
was
he was
trying to get
saying.
at that.
I was just trying to get it
Mm-hmm.
out of him and challenge him because, like you said, sometimes I think people think, oh, we get all of these people in here and we just gonna make change, and it's systematic. It's way above just that,
Yeah.
And so I wanted to bring that out of him. So hopefully, Orange Sharpness on. I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah. And getting back to your core thing is this idea about drugs, violence, and murders or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
To me, when we look at that, I think we do have to look at that from a psychological standpoint, and many times we don't. We have to understand that to murder someone is a way of trying to adapt in a society, a way of trying to survive, a way of trying to regulate in a very peace, in a very negative, in a very maladaptive way. To take drugs is trying to help you regulate yourself in an environment or society, or as a result of the traumas. I think Brother Ory, the dear brother before Ory, he was powerful as well. And he was talking about that trauma. Yeah, Brother Kev was breaking it down to just, he said, I'm just talk regular type of thing. But the reality is, a lot of things he was saying with Brother Ory and other brothers was real true. This idea that what people are trying to survive. So taking drugs is one way people are trying to survive, because it could be between taking that drug or taking your life. It could be, I don't know how to deal with this anxiety, this trauma, this hurt, but this makes me feel better. And if I don't take this, I don't feel like a human being. I don't feel worthy. I don't feel. So it's not about normalizing it, but it's about understanding the psychology, the need, the etiology of the disease, the illness, and why people are doing the things they're doing. Just like I argued, the same conversations we need to have with brothers. Because what I said is, I put a post out today that said, and a lot of these killings and murders and things are really happening. A lot of brothers are doing these things. But we have not learned to consider what's going on inside of black men's minds. And I think we have to do a much better job of that. But we also have to understand, likewise, we have to do that for our sisters. But for black men, we have not learned to consider. We say these things in pop therapy culture, but the reality is, once that man begins to talk, they say, I wish you never opened your mouth, because the system don't want no man talking about his problems. The system, I'm talking about the system that we find ourselves in. That system has been trained that, no, that's excuse my language, that's a BITCH move, bro. I mean, I said I want you to talk, but I don't want you to talk because I'm not attracted to you anymore. So it's lots of things that we're all on we're all kind of stuck in this patriarchal, capitalistic, Eurocentric, just hell and culture. And getting back to culture, we have to create new cultures, and culture is essential for our healing. Anyway, I'm gonna stop there. I don't know. I'm babbling on right now.
No, you were deep. And when we call you doctor, a lot of people don't know you. Talk about your educational background, because you hitting them with a lot of information, and they need to know where it's coming from.
Okay, so I'm a psychotherapist. How far you want me to go in there, brother?
You can go a little deep. We want to
I have a
introduce you
master. I
to
have
the
a
world, brother.
So I have a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling with emphasis in psychology and integrated spirituality, and then I also have a PhD in counselor education, which I did my research for that dissertation. That PhD is called Measuring the Relationship of Race-Based Trauma, Black Identity, and Spirituality. So a lot of my work is around trauma. And also, I like people ask me like, who do I serve? I say Black people, and more so the Black family, which the Black families become the Black community and society, nation, race, and so forth. So to me, it's all about us being able to communicate. Because I have to be real honest. This week I've been a little bit disappointed, and we do have to be able to hold one another accountable. I think you were speaking about that earlier, and it's several times this week. And what I mean by this, not just accountability, but being able to communicate. And to me, just twice this week, I realized. I mean, I just didn't realize. I just been really disappointed at our level of being able to communicate with one another. One, first is holding each other accountable. To hold one accountable in a community should not be looked at as a bad thing. To hold one accountable in our community should not be bad. In fact, I don't think we should support people who can't be held accountable. I know people. Just today, I was talking to a dear brother, and he really frustrated me. Just to be honest with you, so to say Black men express your emotions, I was frustrated. So
don't tell him you didn't go off, did you, Doc?
No, literally, what I found out in that conversation is that we struggle with a dialectical process. I already knew this. We struggle with a dialogical process. We struggle with the ability to disagree with one another without wanting to cut the conversation. This gentleman, as much as I could say, he was a very insulting. And
what kind of conversation was this?
Well, it was about, I'll just be real frank with you. It was about some of the stuff that that's going on, but more specifically, what's going on with Tariq Nasheed and other people in the conscious spaces that who claim to be Pan-Africanists and also FBA. And more specifically, it was around Kaaba.
Okay.
And the thing was that I didn't know, so it started off that way, and wasn't sure how he felt about that, because I'm not one of those people. I'm a very I'm high in what they call agreeableness when it comes to my personality. Meaning, I want us all to get together. I want us all to get along. But again, I said it earlier. I'm also high in straightforwardness. So if you I'm going to say the thing. I'm a very honest person. What I mean is, you're not going to have any mysteries with me on how I feel about you. So that's the problem.
Right. I feel you.
You
don't hold your tongue. You say how you feel, but that's why we all respect you, because we know where you're coming from.
But I say it, and I say it in a respectful manner. I don't.
That is true.
I do have a filter. I do have a filter. But again, you're not gonna play me. And three, I think it's very essential to understand that we I think it's very essential that we understand that we, like for example, this gentleman on the call, he's just like, well, I don't, it's a waste of time to talk about things. It's a waste of time to continue to. I'm like, okay, so you make your point, it's not a waste of time. But when I say my side, it becomes a waste of time because I don't agree with you. So then you try to shut down the conversation. And I'm going to tell you what I don't like. And I saw you do a real good job of that. I'm going to tell you one of my pet peeves, y'all, is when somebody tells, when somebody says something wrong, and then you try to say, well, I didn't say that, I actually said this. Or you try to explain, like, you just want to drop one word. I didn't say yellow, I said blue. And then they were like, oh, can I talk? Can I talk? Can I finish my statement? No, I just wanted to say, I said blue.
Right.
Yeah, and then they try to victimize their reality, or that right there is passive aggressive. I don't do well with passive aggressiveness because people think that, and I'm very intuitive, so I can see when people are being passive aggressive. I can feel it, I can sense it when people are being passive aggressive. I teach people anger management. So just because you're not yelling don't mean you're not being aggressive.
That's right.
Just because you ain't calling me out my name doesn't mean you're not being aggressive. In fact, what you learned is control is even more a more insidious version of control and aggression. I like to tell men who say I wasn't doing anything. They say things like, well, I wasn't being aggressive, I just got quiet. I said, can you imagine somebody getting quiet on you and see how that feels? That's a very scary thing. Like you just get quiet. Everything all right? No. I mean, everything? You didn't answer no. You ain't saying nothing. You just letting the person feel you. You not responding. And they be like, so what's wrong with you? Ain't nothing wrong with you. What you mean? Like, so that passive aggressive type of insidious type of tactic is bad and is gaslighting. And is what they would call, some people will call a microaggression. I just call it aggression. Just very skilled manipulation. Anyway, and that's what we find in our communities. We find in violence. But anyway, people are just trying to cope. That's what I want to say. People are trying to cope through violence. People are trying to cope through drugs. But we need to find. Well, anyway, and again, we have to address this on all levels. On our level, as far as we have to do things like in politically within the system. But what the problem is that'll never be enough. So we can't all just say we're operating within this system. As you said, we have to build our own system. We have to construct and erect our own system. Because what happened is we have convinced ourselves that this system is better than the system that we need to build, or the systems that we have built. So even those of us who are in these communities, we can't even hold them accountable, because you'll start a school up next week with UNIA. And then you'll have UNIA members like, I ain't sending my people to this black school. So me, as a black man, where did I go to school at to get my undergraduate degree, my first one? I said, okay, I'm going to go to Sojourner Douglas College, because it's a black school, peace, brother. A black school. People saying don't go there. And I don't care about what people say. It was one of my best experiences, one of my best educational experiences. And I'm not going with what the system says. I'm going with it was the best experience. Then, okay, I went from there to a white school called Loyola. So I went to Sojourner Douglas College, which wasn't supposed to be satisfying to lots of us here, but then I got to go to the white school, which is more acceptable to us, and they accepted my Sojourner Douglas degree in education. Then went to another white school, and I didn't necessarily choose it that way, just what the chips fell that kind of fit best. But I did choose to go to Sojourner Douglas College.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff. My man Johnny Jackson, he raves about the Sojourner Douglas when he was up there. Just all the people that they had up there, and the speakers and people.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely awesome. Before you go, talk about your platform. because you got a powerful platform. Had me on there a few times. You got me getting attacked on Twitter, but that's okay.
I do.
Yeah. They've been going at me. I didn't even know. I just post on Twitter. I don't even think anybody. And I went on and I looked at notifications. I'm like, I gotta start responding to these. This is kind of fun. They was going at me, but just talk about your platform because it is powerful and the stuff that you're doing, man. It's just amazing.
No. So basically, my platform is not necessarily about FBA. I mean, that's kind of like the topic right now that really, I guess, excites people. But honestly, my platform is not even about FBA. If FBA is what's going to catch the algorithm today,
Oh man, we might have lost you, good doc.
am
Did
I
we
am I
lose?
still there?
Yeah, I got
Am I
you. I
still
got
there?
you. Yeah,
Let me put this.
you still there? All right, family. While we get the doctor to come back on and close out, you know how we do. This is a great time to pay the bills and come right back. So hold tight real quick. By the way, our President General, and I'm waiting for the doc to come back so we can close out. We're going back to Panama this month. UNIA is going back to Panama. Our President General is going down there. And so you know what that means. We got to get the boots on the ground and get ready to protect. So we're going to our next commercial, and hopefully our Dr. Daw will be right back.
A boy dead on the street last week. Not from drugs, from violence. Nobody stand up, nobody move. Me got 6 weeks we build 100 man. Or Baltimore lose its soul. Back in the day, we protect we own. Now, enough talk, enough post. But Garvey, him leave with a blueprint. Stand up, uniform, discipline, unity. African Legion, it not dead. It a prophecy waiting for fulfill. Ma nearly walk away, tired, alone. But when that mother grab me arm and say, who I go protect my son? Me know, we not start no war, we restore order. Black unity, black honor, black discipline. This a we army, and it never left. Me name, Brother Tony. Join the Baltimore UNIA. Be the legacy, or be the silence.
All right, we got Dr. Daw back. For those that don't know, family, the African Legion is one of our auxiliaries. We call it our paramilitary for the UNIA, and we protect the UNIA. We protect our black community, not just from outsiders, but from people within. But go ahead, Dr. Daw.
So yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate all the work that you're doing over there as well, and being a part of that as well as much as I can. So yeah, so my platform, as I was saying, is not a FBA platform. It just happens to be FBA is a cancer in our community right now, and algorithms typically support cancerous venom in our community. So I don't care what nobody says. I'm going to put FBA in most of my titles to catch the algorithm, so that I can present people, so I can present the world the alternative, like a Brother Everett Winchester, President in Winchester and the UNIA, and also present groups like Leaders of a Beautiful Struggle, and present groups like PLM, to present groups like 10 Day Family and Dr. Jared Ball and Black Power Media, and like, so yeah, I'm going to do that. But my main purpose of my platform is to really deal with this this problem we have in identity, and to also deal with this issue that we have with the utilizing Eurocentric frameworks. That's why I really appreciated Brother Baba Ory today because he, I think, did a great job of showing you what African-centered scholarship looks like.
Yeah.
You know, and lots of times people, we can't do what he did. A lot of us cannot do, and we don't have a framework. I think he did an excellent job of saying, look, I'm not speaking from me. I'm speaking from them. Now, I would push it a bit forward and say, I think he can speak from him. I think he does, but he's utilizing some discipline model to help him see and to further that and to deal with what's going on in this current day and time. So that's what my platform is for, is to push back against these Eurocentric models and to present people alternative, more culturally appropriate and revolutionary appropriate models, frameworks, organizations, and so on to them. Because many times what we've done, we've been kind of quieted and quiet because I think most of us, a lot of us in these Black Pan-African spaces, we really love our people so much that sometimes we give people too many passes, and we don't want to come across as divisive. You can't be divisive. Like, if you can't push back on Tariq Nasheed, I'm sorry. There's no divisiveness more that you can cause there. What you can do is hold him accountable and ride that algorithm. So, Brother President, I'm even suggesting you put FBA in some of these titles, even if you should have a 5-minute segment, and then present to people the alternative.
Yeah, I like that. We spoke about that at our high executive council. I actually brought it to the floor that, we got to work harder and we got to make sure, and this is why we're doing shows like this, to let them know that we're here, we're working, we're talking. And in the words of our high commissioner and president of our division in Chicago, Isaiah Mortar, Tariq is a William O'Neill type mofo.
Okay,
Those that don't know who he is, he was the guy that sold out Fred Hampton. He was, he's an agent, man. And anybody that's separating or trying to divide people that look like you is not good. We all have issues. We got issues in the Black community in America where we talk and we fight with each other. They have issues in Africa where they fight and talk to each other. But, when you get to like organizations, like you said, those that Brother Davon, Baba Emotep, UNIA, and you see people from Jamaica and people from Haiti and people from Africa. It's a beautiful thing. I tell them, when they keep talking about Jamaicans don't care and this or that, I'm like, yo, I wouldn't come too close to me. My sergeant in arms is Jamaican. He might do something to you. We love each other. So I'm loving the fact that, you take the time to, educate, and you actually take the time to talk to some of them people. I've tried to reason with some of them on Twitter, and they say the craziest thing. One brother, I said, hey brother, let's just stop real quick and let's just try to figure out what we can do to work in the Black community to fix some things. He said, I am working on what we can do in the Black community to fix our problems with drugs. We're going to delineate. I'm like, what? So these people are like confused. I think they trolls. There's one brother, he calls himself King Some. He's probably listening. This brother says he's a Pan-African, and he says he's on the islands, but it's probably Cocoa Beach. He's got a thing of soursop. He has a kente cloth on, and he throws the soursop, says delineate. I'm like, yo, you're really crazy. So these brothers are and sisters are really divisive, and I find a lot of them are like rocking American flag Republicans, but some could be Dems. But like you said, we all have problems. We are divisive, and that's what they want us to be, is divisive. So I even salute you for having them call the show and you talk to them, and you guys do have good conversations. And believe it or not, I see you shutting a lot of them up. Not believe it or not, I see you shutting a lot of them up, and I see a lot of them, what's the word? Not being able to respond back. You know, you shake them up a little bit. So I definitely salute you on that, man. You know, because sometimes I lose my temper a little bit, and I be calling them sandbows.
You lose your temper a little bit?
I get on there and I start calling them sandbows, you know, but I'm working on it. But when do you go on so the people can know? Because my people, you know, my boy's a little crazy.
So I go on what is it, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. At 7 p.m. every Wednesday, and yeah, that's it. And you can find me on at Dr. Dennis Osaraw Winkler.
Yes, or you can search Dr. DAW. You always pop up. I put Dr.
Really?
DR and then DAW in the search column. You always pop up.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that. I'm out here checking out. I'm thinking well, how long is it going to take for you to get up out of here? You're having a good conversation over there by yourself.
But all right, let me let you get up out of here, Dr. Daw, and I'm gonna close out myself. I appreciate you, good brother.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Peace and blessings. That's our good brother, Dr. Daw, man, a powerful brother. And you know, man, I'm gonna go over all the comments. For those that are still on, I appreciate you when you make your comments. We had another powerful show. We got a lot of information from a lot of different people, a lot of levels. Brother Keith Scott saying, look, we got to fix these problems and overturn our government, you know, and, you know, get our own party and things of that nature. Brother Bill was really pushing the unity factor and coming together and making change. Brother Ory just really put a lot of things together and made it come full circle. And Dr. Daw, man, he was powerful, and he, you know, as he does, breaks it down from a mental level. So I like that. So before I close out and go over the comments, let's play one more real quick. If you guys have liked these videos that we do and you're interested in getting your own, have a black-owned business or something, definitely get at me. The name of the company is Dynamic Media, and we create these videos.
You think viral videos take days? Pixel's here to prove otherwise. No time. Everyone's watching. Your story has to pop. Every click counts. Every second spark a share. Boom! 100,000 views before lunch. But what if it still gets lost online? Not with Dynamic Media Legacy. Start your viral video now.
"60 seconds to erase this city or rebuild it from scratch." This isn't pre-rendered. No soundstage, no green screen. Every explosion, every storm, every alternate reality. We don't imagine worlds. We manufacture them. The future doesn't wait, and neither should your story. I didn't just save the world, I authored it. Dynamic Media Legacy. Your vision. Our worlds. Built-in AI. Faster. Bigger. Impossible.
They wiped the archives, said I was divisive, said I was too loud. I've got one shot to bring real truth and power back, or the community loses its voice. It started as a podcast, just the mic, just truth. Then came the guests, doctors, entrepreneurs, revolutionaries. We laughed, we argued, we built something sacred. But the deeper we went, the more resistance hit. Algorithms buried us. Platforms ghosted us. Not because we lied, but because we told the truth. I was ready to walk away. Then, after practice, one of my players, 16 years old, pulls me aside. Dead serious, he goes,
"Coach, that podcast, that was the first time I heard someone actually speaking to us."
Then he smirks.
"Also, you kind of went viral on my group chat. Don't let it die."
That was it. I rebuilt the studio from scratch, mic back on, files restored, and this time, I hit record like it's war. Real Truth and Power is back. Raw, necessary, unstoppable. New shows drop soon. Subscribe now. Share this. And revisit the episodes they didn't want you to hear. Locked. It's real.
All right, family. Again, Dynamic Media Legacy, the UNIA media company that we built in Baltimore. We grinding out real quick. So if you know any black business owner that is in need of some promotional items, really, really, really low fee. And we have fun doing it, and we try to make it fun. I want to go over a couple of comments real quick. And to all my people on TikTok, I apologize. I have to keep checking it every now and then, or it logs me out. But we were back on for the close of the show. Please, if you're on TikTok, hit that like and share button. And hopefully you got this information and I'll start sending clips out. And go back to the beginning of the show. We had our good brother on, Dr. Dennis. And he was saying peace and blessings. Peace and blessings, good doc. Thank you for being a part of the show today. You were phenomenal. Let's see who else commented today. Lady President of the UNIA in Baltimore. Let's go. UNIA all day. I say, Lady President. I say, see you tomorrow, hopefully. Sergeant at Arms, Tony Culture. Unfortunately, folks are numb to what's going on in terms of crime and violence. Yes, we have to figure that out, Brother Culture. We have to figure that out. And if you're on TikTok, you cannot. I cannot share your comments. But you can always go over to YouTube, Real Truth and Power, and check us out. Brother Kevin, who actually joined the show, was powerful as well. We have a big lack of accountability. Yes, we have to make ourselves accountable. We have to make ourselves do the work. You know, and it's very hard. Sometimes we're moving in life and we're focused. And I believe you said this on, mine. Brother Kev, but we got to think community first, because that's just the way it has to be in order for us to be, go to the next level. Thank you for that, Brother Kev. Who else we got here? This is somebody on YouTube. Soft Twister 50E.66. Define freedom. That's interesting. People may define freedom in lots of ways. Some may say, I'm not a slave. I get to move and walk around the way I want to. That's freedom. I can read and write. That's freedom. I can do things like that. That's freedom. So I'm not exactly sure what definition you want, but I would say freedom is also mental freedom, and a lot of us are slaves mentally. Subjugated to a system, accepting a system, not trying to be cultural the way we have, don't understand our culture. So freedom is a lot of different variations that we can go into. You should have called the show. Next week, maybe we can get you on. Let's keep going on. Brother Ory, who was powerful on the show today, made a couple of comments. Bro talking about locally. Yes, he was talking about our good brother Keith Scott, who was going on about the government. Yes, I know he was talking about locally. I wanted to push his buttons though, because I just want people to understand that when we talk about overthrowing a government and getting in power, you're talking about military action. You're not just talking about getting votes and going in there. It's systematic. So even though we can do a lot of things, if we had the right people in office, I wanted him to also realize that those people are being controlled. He has said it. Those people are being controlled. And when you're in this system, somebody's controlling this system, and it's not us. But I definitely understand, and I support Brother Keith's fight. Yes, and Brother Ory also said all politics is local. Yes, you have to vote at the local level to make change. And we have to start demanding from our local politicians. But we also have to, when we vote for them, give them an agenda so that, we can hold them accountable. We can't just vote them in and cry about it. We got to make sure that we let them know some things that we want. So when they're not on board with what we want, we can vote their butts out. So definitely, Brother Ory, I agree with you there. He also said Dark Alliance, yes. My wife even chimed in today. What she say? Totally agree. Starts at home. I think she was talking about possibly Brother Kevin. Brother Kev was mentioning the fact that it starts at home culturally. He mentioned culturally a lot. The status of the home and how we have to be able to get our home right. We can't depend on the school system. We can't depend on a lot of those things. We have to make sure our home is right. But I will also say that it's levels to it. Once we get our home right, we have to look at cultures like the Jewish community. They got their culture in their home, and then they learn more about their culture in their school, which is really powerful. So school and those things must be reinforced. And it's a system that we need to build. But yes, my dear, it always starts at the home. Shout out again to Sister Basima, strong sister from the Philadelphia division of the UNIA, where our international headquarters is. She was the 4th assistant president general, and she might have held that title for a long time, a strong Black Cross nurse. We were talking about things like that, the school system and fixing, what's the way I could say it? We were talking about how we can fix things culturally. And she was saying rites of passage. That is right. There's some brothers in Baltimore that do a rites of passage. That's something that we need to do within the UNIA. And I should have talked to the first caller, Brother Fitzgerald, who we have our basketball program. That's something that we need to really install in our kids in our basketball level, a rites of passage. So they can we give them more than basketball, but that would be something to help them build for manhood. And I think we almost done. Brother Kev came back in. Good conversation. Yes, it's always good to build. And that's what the Real Truth and Power podcast is. We want to challenge each other. It's okay to debate. It's okay to disagree. But as long as we're trying to come with some elements to improve the Black community, then and it's for everybody. You can always call it. I don't have to disagree with you. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to challenge you. Even if I agree with you, I may challenge you. And I'm also want to learn. I want to hear what you have to say because I'm not perfect. I want to learn. I say a lot sometimes, and I get checked by our elders all the time, especially in the UNIA. So I want to learn and I want to build, and that's what we have to do. Have these conversations. I agree. We have to learn. Oh, that's right on point. I agree. We have to learn to talk with each other to move forward. These conversations are great, Kev. And always we do this on the first Saturday of the month. Black Men Unifying Black Men Breakfast. Business owners, things of that nature come through. And we're going to do a breakfast at the UNIA convention in August. So we're going to have 2 breakfasts. So that Saturday is really starting to build up. The women are going to do a goddess circle. So if you're in the community and you want to join us, it's not just for UNIA members that day. And we're going to have a Black Men Unifying Black Men Breakfast. We're going to do a tour of the Pennsylvania Avenue aspect, and we're going to hit the Great Blacks on Wax in our galas that night. So we stay busy in the UNIA convention. All right, family, that's it. I want to thank you for tuning in. It's Brother Everett. Man, if you're just getting on again, do me this one favor before you roll out.
Smash it now!
Hit that like button. TikTok, y'all got a like button. Hit that TikTok button. Hit that like button on TikTok. And again, man, thank you again for tuning in to Real Truth and Power. What do you want to talk about next week? Brother Ory, if you got something, anybody got something, Dr. Dog, I'm looking for some good conversations that we can build, have heavy discussions on. A lot of people have been wanting me to talk about the FBA, but I get a little too raw with it. I can't do like Dr. Dog. I can't do it, but I'll try maybe. But I want to keep it community based as well. So maybe the education system will be a good topic for next week. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Let me know. I'm gonna be posting about it all week, like just posting, giving my random comments. So I got a couple of days before Monday. Definitely text me for all my homeboys and people out there, and we could talk about what we're going to, what's our next topic going to be. All right, family, thank you again. And also make sure that if you're tuned in to UNIA Rock Media, check us out, the UNIA platform, UNIA Rock, ROC, media.com. We streamed on there. Last week we had some technical problems. I apologize. We're streaming from one system and a bunch of different platforms, Instagram, Facebook, different YouTube. So I'm trying, I have to go through a different way through Rock Media, but I hope you guys were able to listen and check us out. Please hit the like and subscribe button for UNIA Rock Media and, of course, Real Truth and Power. And on that note, family, we are out. Also, and I know I keep saying this every week, one of my big brothers I grew up with, Samuel Rollins, has a book out. I'm going to interview him this week, so it's not going to be a Friday probably, unless he calls, and we'll work it out. But I definitely want you guys to hear about his book. It's going to be definitely powerful. And on that note, we out, family. Real Truth and Power. UNIA under the President General Michael Duncan. We are out. Great show today. Everybody gets the DJ horn. We rocking, y'all. You know how we do. Real Truth and Power. Let's go. Race first.
Real truth and power, health, wealth, knowledge of self, uplifting the community. Let's talk about it. Real truth and power, health, wealth, knowledge of self, uplifting the community. Let's talk about it. Real truth and power, health, wealth, knowledge of self, uplifting the community. Let's talk about it.